preview on CISN, powered by Fairway. Back with you for week number 6 of the Iowa High School Athletic Association football season. Take a look back and a look forward here tonight as we get ready for our 2 games on CISN. It'll be West Des Moines Valley hosting Waukee in one of our matchups, and the Ankeny Hawks will welcome in the Johnston Dragons in another matchup. Lots of other good games around the area. A couple of teams taking some long road trips also this weekend, ranked in the top 5. Dowling Catholic will head up to Marshalltown to take on the Bobcats, while number 1 Southeast Polk goes down to Ottumwa. They'll face the Bulldogs in that one. As we still await officially what's going to happen with the Des Moines Public Schools, we are getting some more answers as it pertains to the eligibility of a number of the transfers. The most high profile is Arlen Bruce, who transferred in from the Kansas City area, future Iowa Hawkeye wide receiver. Eligibility was granted on Thursday to him, and he'll be out there available to play for Ankeny tonight in that matchup as the Hawks go up against the Johnston Dragons. We'll get into that a little bit more. A couple of the Dowling Catholic transfers as they welcome in from Roosevelt. Their eligibility has been granted. So the continued evolution of this high school season, one that we've never seen anything close to like this before, continues to roll on as we have 2 weeks left of the regular season. Remember, this season, it is different. Just a 7-week regular season before we get into the playoffs, and then every team will qualify for the playoffs. The brackets will be available here in just a couple of weeks. Get excited for that and how everything is going to play out. Before we go forward, though, let's take a look back at what we saw last week and start in Waukee, where their outstanding cornerback, wide receiver, kick returner, he does a little bit of everything. Aaron Smith, he was a story for Waukee. The Warriors got off to a little bit of a slow start against Johnston. The Dragons really controlled the game for the first quarter, but late in the first quarter, Aaron Smith made a big play in the passing game. He had 2 long touchdown runs, had an interception return for a touchdown, 4 touchdowns in the game. You've heard me talk about him throughout this season. One of the fastest players, if not the fastest player in the state, and he was outstanding Friday night in that victory for Waukee as they picked up the win 45-17 over a ranked at the top 5 Johnston team. Now Waukee will get ready for Valley here this week. We'll get into that more a little bit later on. Some other games that we saw, Ankeny Centennial gets their first win of the season, 21-17. Another good job defensively out of a Centennial squad going up against Taman Lippy, one of the outstanding athletes of the 2022 class. He's a top 100 basketball player in that class, but he can also play some football. Had 7 touchdowns in week 1 before Ames had to shut their program down for a few weeks. They're back there out on the field. Centennial holds them just to 17 points, and the Jaguars get their first win of the year, 21-17 in that one. Some other scores that we saw in games that we saw last week, another victory for Ankeny. The Hawks, as we talked about, Arlen Bruce. Well, it looks like they don't exactly need Arlen Bruce. They'll take him, and they'll put them out on the field, but his performance, the performance we saw out of the Ankeny Hawks, Jace Bauer outstanding again at the quarterback position, and Brody Brecht, another future Iowa Hawkeye. He was great at the wide receiver position. He had a big night in the victory against the Valley Tigers. We'll hear from some of the coaches a little bit later on as they get ready for these week 6 games. We'll get into that as well, as that's what we saw across central Iowa. Dallas Center Grimes in Class 3A, they keep rolling along. We see Van Meter down in 1A looking for another state championship. They continue to play great football. Des Moines Christian, they have been playing well. It's not just what we see at the big school level, also the small schools. A lot of great football being played in central Iowa. Conversation with the coaches coming up next. We'll hear from the coaches as we get ready for the games. As we come back, it's Prep Preview on CISN. We're powered by Fairway, and we're back with more in a moment.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Business owners, real estate agents, are you looking for an experienced, proven, and locally owned partner in Central Iowa for your commercial construction needs? Make it Roshan Corporation. Roshan Corporation will guide you through options to make your dreams a reality. Roshan, your general contractor who can build anything from small tenant improvement spaces to large-scale design-build projects. It's Roshan Corporation. Online at RoshanIA.com. If you can dream it, we can build it.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why Schottenkirk Ford? Our core values: hard work, trust, character, integrity, honesty, and respect. During Schottenkirk Ford's fall savings event, get up to $12,500 off 2020 F-150 XLT. No goofy rebates. Everyone qualifies. Up to $12,000 off 2020 Expedition XLT. New 2020 EcoSport 4-wheel drive starting at $18,990. Our certified used vehicles come with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. Hurry in. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Welcome back to Prep Preview on CISN. I'm Trent Condon. As we hear from the coaches, ready for our matchups tonight on CISN, it'll be Waukee against Valley on one side and Ankeny Johnston in the other. Let's hear first from Gary Swenson, the head coach of the Valley Tigers. Conversation with the coach on Prep Preview, powered by Fairway. Time to talk right now to the head coach for the Valley Tigers. He is Gary Swenson, here on Conversation with the Coach on Prep Preview, CISN, powered by Fairway. Gary, took another loss against Ankeny on Friday night, and now another difficult one in front of you with Waukee. This schedule, you knew it coming in, it was going to be incredibly difficult, and that's proven to be the case. How are you as you guys get ready for week number 6 of this abbreviated regular season?
Well, like you said, it's another outstanding football team. I felt coming into the season that all 4 of these teams we've had the last 4 weeks would be contenders, and they've all played like it. So, I'll give our kids credit. They came back Monday. We've practiced. They're doing everything they can. We're a little bit beat up. Got some guys we're going to have to hold out, but that's par for the course during a football season as you progress. The hard thing is usually you're not going back to back to back to back with these kind of opponents where you're playing semifinal or final caliber football teams. So that's been difficult from a physical standpoint, but you have to own your record. I mean, it doesn't do any good to whine about playing good teams. That's the type of competition everybody enjoys, and at some point, you just got to get over the hump. The old Parcells term, you are what your record says you are, and we can't look for excuses. We've got to go out and be able to perform and stay in games where you have a shot to win.
We talked to you last week, right as you were finding out and trying to get your team ready for a matchup without your starting quarterback in Jake Rubley. A little bit more time for preparation, but we have the ongoing saga as a number of the players are getting eligibility sorted out, eligibility awarded to Arlen Bruce on Thursday. So there's a lot of that going on. What's been practiced, though, at least having a full week, trying to get both Price and Morrow ready for Friday night?
Well, it helps. I mean, we got thrown that curveball last week, late Wednesday. So, we were just informed Jake's not going to be eligible, and we've operated all week with that, figuring that would be the case. And so the 2 kids that, Mason will be our starter. He's going to do what he can. I thought he played well considering the amount of prep time he had. We were having to bring him over to the sideline, and in some cases just kind of drawing it in the dirt for him because he just hadn't been with us. We do try to spread our talent around, and he was helping us defensively. So when we had to bring him back, in fairness to him, there really wasn't time for him to get comfortable with everything we had hoped to do. So I thought he handled it very well, and this week should be better.
You know, we've talked a lot, Gary, throughout this season about some of the issues for your team offensively up front. Defense, you have a lot of nice pieces over there, but the defense maybe hasn't played up to the level that I think a lot of people were anticipating coming into the year. How much do you put the woes that you've seen because of the offense and some of the struggles they've had, the amount of pressure it's putting on the defense, and just frankly, the amount of time that they've had to be on the field?
Well, it all fits together. The line of scrimmage is the problem on both sides of the ball. And that's, like I've said before, that's where things get easy when you're controlling the line of scrimmage on either side. So our number of snaps, even last week, far exceeded our opponent. We just aren't converting. But there are times the defense has been out there too long, and you can only hold up so long, especially when you're playing somebody that's got playmakers across the board. They're going to find a way to expose whatever weakness you have, and then they're going to convert that weakness. And I still see places we've improved. I think we're getting better. What that means for Friday, I don't know. I still like our chances to go out and compete and try to see if we can stay in this game right to the end.
Aaron Smith for Waukee last week had one of the best individual performances I've seen in a long time. He is dynamic. He's got incredible speed out there. When you put in the tape and you're watching and getting ready for this game, you've seen Aaron Smith for the last couple of years for Waukee, mostly defensively in the return game, but they're using him even more on the offensive side of the ball. Just what do you have to do to negate somebody with that kind of game-breaking speed?
Well, you're right. He's exceptionally fast, unlike most players on our team or anybody's team. He's got tremendous speed, and when you have a guy that can run like that, you want to get him on the field in every aspect of your game, and that's what they're doing a nice job of right now. He breaks down pursuit angles in a hurry, and the normal path you take from the backside that will get you in the right position. Now you got to change that, because you can't assume that that's going to work with him. He's just too fast. And I really like him. He's an outstanding player. Seems like a great kid. I think he's been this is no secret. I mean, he's been a very good player there he played as a sophomore. So again, everybody we play has some exceptional players, across the board. And with Waukee, they've got a bunch of really good ones. He is a difference maker, though. There's no question about that.
So I want to ask you about this. We always talk the week of the Dowling game and about the rivalry. This rivalry is a little bit different. Waukee, the new kid on the block, 20 years ago when you first came to Valley, it was a different school. It was playing in a different class, and the way that certainly that town and just the area has grown around it, the new kid on the block. When you think of this rivalry, it's different than Dowling Catholic, but what do you think about this game every year?
Oh, I think it's turned into one of our big games every year just because of the proximity to the two schools. I mean, all of us are within close distance here, but Waukee Valley, they're our next door neighbor, and they've been coming. You could see this class coming as a freshman class. I remember watching them, being really impressed with the collection of athletes they had. I'm talking good football players. And I knew when they got to the top, like they are right now, this was going to be a really formidable opponent and one of the best teams in the state. So, but the rivalry's been great. I think when they came into 4A, they competed immediately. They weren't running uphill like some schools do when they change classifications. I think Scott has done a great job there, bringing them and the level of competition up to what they had to, and they're really to be credited for how they've done that. Now, again, they split next year, and I would just say this: there's a lot of players over there. There's a lot of kids, and the two school thing, there'll be an adjustment, but I would expect they're going to compete immediately. And look at Ankeny; they're both competing right now. These schools adjust to that, and initially it might seem like, oh, we're diluting our talent, but the opportunities for more kids to play just brings out more bodies, and they're going to find good athletes. They've just got a big collection of them right now.
Gary, final thing for you. You haven't had a season like this in a long time. I can't remember the last time. Have you ever had a losing record since you got to Valley? In 2009, you guys went 6-5 that season. When you go through a season like this and all the successes that you've had, what you take away? What you take away when it comes to Friday night? You've been taking some lumps.
Yeah, we have, but what do? I mean, you just go back to work the next week, and the kid, our players don't care about what's happened in the past or what might happen next year. This is their team right now, and they want to win. It's bothered them that they haven't been able to get over the hump here. I mean, we're coaching as hard as we've ever coached, and I like the way we're practicing. You just have to keep your chin up and try to go about your business and go back to work each week, hoping that at some point, you get a chance to see the results of your efforts. And again, that's been the hard thing about this condensed schedule. When everybody is a top team in the state, there's not that week where you can say, okay, we're just better than these guys. I mean, you're playing playoff competition every week, and nobody's feeling sorry for us. There's nobody. We've got a good football program here. We've had it. We'll have it in the future. And right now our record doesn't show it, but I still think we're going to be a good football team before this thing is all said and done.
Tonight, a matchup with Waukee, finish up the regular season with Centennial, and then the expanded playoffs as everybody will be in here for the 2020 season. Coach Swenson, as always, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
If you plan to buy a franchise business or you're thinking of starting a new franchise, there's a lawyer right here in Central Iowa that can help you through the process. Rush Niggett of Brick Gentry Law PC has set up an affordable service to help individuals considering buying or starting a franchise business. Learn more online at rushonbusiness.com. Let Rush Niggett help you buy or start your franchise. Rush Niggett, the franchise lawyer with Brick Gentry Law PC. It's good to have Rush on your side.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Welcome back to Prep Preview on CISN, powered by Fairway. I'm Trent Condon. We continue our conversation with the coaches here each and every week. Next, let's hear from Waukee. The Warriors playing some great football. Coach Carlson joining Dar Danielson as we get ready for Valley Waukee tonight on Prep Preview, CISN.
Joining us now is Waukee's head football coach. And Coach, before we move to this week, let's talk about last week and a big win for you there over Johnston, and a big performance out of Aaron Smith, 4 touchdowns, and that just kind of got you sparked and got you going there, didn't it?
It definitely did. We made a number of mistakes really throughout the entire game, but in particular at the beginning of the game, it just seemed like we couldn't get out of our own way. And thankfully, we were able to capitalize on some big plays. Aaron was certainly a huge part of that throughout the night. But we were able to overcome those mistakes in spite of things that we really need to get cleaned up, and we've been working hard on that this week. But the good thing to see was the guys were able to find ways to overcome the mistakes and continue to play on.
Yeah, the long snaps, obviously the most glaring issue that you've had there in the last couple of weeks. And that's something that just a new player, or what was going on, or is that something you've worked on and were able to adjust now? Or
I think we're in the right place now. Again, I think it's a matter of a couple of things. It's fatigue. It's the player. One of the players is doing some long snapping, playing a lot of additional snaps relative to where he was at a couple of weeks ago, and so we've done some things to try to take a little bit off of his plate and look at some additional directions we can go with that. But that being said, hopefully, again, we're going to find out. But that's something that we certainly need to get better at. Special teams is something that's really benefited us at times this year. But at the same time, those are huge plays in the game, and you can see how they can make it tough. That being said, like I said earlier, it was really good for me to see our guys respond to that in a very positive way and to continue to play on and work their way through that and capitalize on some situations that were presented to them later on.
Well, I mentioned Aaron, but I think the thing that makes him even more dangerous is that he's not your only threat. You have a well-balanced offense where you have passing, running, you have a lot of different things. So it's so hard for the defense. I think you present them a lot of issues to cover out there, and that's one of your strengths there, isn't it?
I think so. There is some great balance there this year. Aaron is clearly the one that stands out because anytime he touches the ball, I think, you've got to be concerned on the other side of the ball. But, as the season wears on, I anticipate people will start to do more things to try to neutralize Aaron. And while they do that, I think if you look at, players like Jacob Holcomb, who's really done a nice job of reading his reads as a quarterback, distributing the ball, making great reads on the run game. Alex Lindquist, who's had a tremendous senior season to date, who continues to be one of the state leaders in rushing yards against a really great caliber of opponent, and many of the other receivers as well. And let's not forget to mention the offensive line, who has gone through just tons of up and down situations with the lineup and trying to assemble a cast there. We've had up to 4 guys at a time in our offensive line that for various reasons have been unable to go out there on Friday nights. So those guys, I think, have really done a tremendous job in spite of all the things, all the obstacles that have been thrown at them this year.
You mentioned the line, then when you look on the defensive side of the ball, that line really gave Johnson's quarterback a hard time giving him any time to throw. And when you do that, it helps then the linebackers in the secondary. And I thought the defense really played a great game too in that game against Johnston.
Yeah, no question. I think we did a much better job defensively. We played with more intensity and urgency relative to some of the games where we've let teams get back into the game. And we didn't play without flaws. We know that there's still plenty of things that we can do defensively to shore things up and get things better. But I think you're right. It starts with the good push up front. That really sets the table for the linebackers to be able to run across the field and make plays, for the secondary to put themselves in situations where maybe that ball is thrown in a place where the quarterback would prefer not to throw the ball. Been able to capitalize on those in a couple of situations as well.
We've been talking all through the season about your tough schedule, and people will look at this game now and say, well, Valley has got a losing record, so that, not as tough as it looks. But and I know a lot of years, Valley with the tradition and what they have there, they're not just going to roll down and lay down and say, okay, we're going to finish out the season.
I guarantee you that's true. And I mean, look no further than their lineup. I mean, there is, Division I talent running all over the place with those guys. They've struggled to, put together consistent effort, just like a lot of teams have. And a lot of that, again, has to do with the shortness of the season, the caliber of the opponent. But, I mean, they scare you. There's no doubt about that, because they are certainly in a position where they want to come out and finally feel like, they played their best football game of the year. And this is obviously a tremendous opportunity for Valley. Coach Swenson and his staff always do a tremendous job. They're going to be at home, and there are a lot of things that are kind of going their way, trending the right direction. And so, it's hard to convince everybody, in the mind of a 16-year-old boy, it's easy to kind of fall into the trap of looking at records. And you can't look at records at this time of year, especially when you're playing a team with the tradition and the athleticism of the Valley.
Been a lot of talk on all levels of sports with the COVID and the smaller crowds and things and how that impacts. Is is it as big as it was going on the road or playing at home? And of course here, you're used to playing these teams, but what kind of impact have you seen on that here just through the season thus far?
I don't know if it really has had that profound of an impact, quite frankly. And I think most coaches would tell you the same thing. Depending on the venue and depending on the school rules, the crowd sizes are going to be pretty significantly different from one place to the other. You can't get as many tickets, obviously, and that goes the same for both sides. Whether it's the home team or the visitor. And so what it comes down to really is a lot more. I think one of the nice things is it's a little bit easier to communicate on Friday nights. Your team can hear you on the field a little bit better than maybe in previous years. You could be yelling and you're just a part of the overall noise. So that I think probably for all teams has had a positive impact in terms of your ability to communicate with players in the moment. But other than that, I don't think it's really mattered all that much. I think, it's still the game of football. It's still, the X's and O's, and it's still the ability to step up and make plays.
And there's still the excitement of knowing, hey, we're out here, we're playing, and in this season, as we talked about, every game you can't take for granted, can you?
No, and I think our guys are probably sick and tired of me talking about that every week, but it's true because all you have to do is look around. You look around at the professional ranks and the collegiate ranks and into the high school ranks here in Iowa. Every week there are teams that are unable to play as a consequence of our current situation. And we try not, we say, well, we only have 2 games left. Well, we're not guaranteed that, and well, the playoffs are coming up. Well, we're not even guaranteed that either. We saw what happened in the baseball season. There's some really good baseball teams who were unable to participate in the postseason. So that is a concern, and you don't want to rest on your laurels and, get in a bad situation where, you get a few guys sick and all of a sudden your team is shut down, because that could, embody the culmination of the season. The whole thing could be over. So we just kind of keep banging that drum and reminding our guys of whatever we've been doing to date, for the most part, seems to be working. We need to continue to have those good mitigation strategies, take care of ourselves, use the hand sanitizer, spray it on your equipment at the end of practice and all those things.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you once again joining us, and good luck on Friday night against Valley.
Thanks, Star.
It's Waukee head coach Scott Carlson. You're on CISN.TV.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
If you plan to buy a franchise business or you're thinking of starting a new franchise, there's a lawyer right here in Central Iowa through the process. Rush Niggett, a Brick Gentry Law PC, has set up an affordable service to help individuals considering buying or starting a franchise business. Learn more online at rushonbusiness.com. Let Rush Niggett help you buy or start your franchise. Rush Niggett, the franchise lawyer with Brick Gentry Law PC. It's good to have Rush on your side. For all of your and your family's eye care needs, make it Elite Eye Care. Dr. Ethan Heisman, Dr. Heidi Bell, and Dr. Kelly Eye Care close to home. From eye exams to contact lenses, eyeglasses to sunglasses, make Elite Eye Care your local optometrist. Set up your next eye care appointment with Elite Eye Care, 9250 University Avenue in West Des Moines, and online at eyedoctordemoines.com. Business owners, real estate agents, are you looking for an experienced, proven, and locally owned partner in Central Iowa for your commercial construction needs? Make it Roshan Corporation. Roshan Corporation will guide you through options to make your dreams a reality. Roshan, your general contractor who can build anything from small tenant improvement spaces to large-scale design-build projects. It's Roshan Corporation. Online at RoshanIA.com. If you can dream it, we can build it.
Back with you one final time as we count down to kickoff on CISN tonight, a doubleheader of action. You can find both games on YouTube. Just search CISN. You can find all the sports coverage we have at the high school level. It's the fall season. There's swimming. There's volleyball going on. You can find that at CISN here on the YouTube page. Glad to have you aboard with us. We will bring you the Ankeny Hawks and the Johnston Dragons in one of our matchups, and a Western rivalry, the Valley Tigers against the Waukee Warriors. I've been told by plenty of people in the past, the headlines every single year when we get to usually week 2, that Valley-Dowling matchup, that one's a little bit more of a friendly matchup. These are kids that grow up together. They play youth sports together. And though it's a rivalry and both sides want to win, there's maybe not the animosity, the hatred at times you get in a rivalry. For Waukee Valley, there's a little bit more of that. The new kid on the block, Waukee, going up against the behemoth that is the Valley Tigers. And with the way these two teams are playing coming into it, Valley and the struggles that they have had, Waukee flying high, Aaron Smith with 4 touchdowns last week. I think Waukee not only wants to win this one, they wouldn't mind putting a couple extra scores up there on the board. We will find out about that one as we continue here in just a little bit. And when you break down that game, it continues to be very simple. What is the offensive line for Valley going to do? It was a struggle again last week against Ankeny. It's been a struggle all season long, even going back to the week 1 game against Roosevelt. A Roosevelt front, not real big, but they had issues, especially in the first half of that one. And since then, starting week 2 with the loss to Dowling and continuing on last week against Ankeny, it's what's happening up front. That has been a big problem for that squad. Can they figure that out? And to have to do it against Waukee. This is a Waukee team that is physical. They are playing tough. They're playing hard. With the loss of Mitch Randall, I know a lot of people wondered what they were going to be, how effective they were going to be throwing the football. They've answered all questions. And really looking back even to their one loss of the season as they fell week 1 against Southeast Polk. Boy, Waukee, the way they're playing right now, love to see that matchup again in the playoffs, and a possibility that very real could happen. More than likely it would happen in the Unidome, either in the state semifinals or the state championship. Our other matchup tonight, Johnston licking their wounds after losing to Waukee last week, 45-17, and it doesn't get any easier for the Dragons tonight as they go up against Ankeny. Not only the Hawks putting big points on the board, Jace Bauer, for my money, he is the best quarterback we have in Central Iowa. He's played great again this season. The wide receivers, Brody Breck, the 6'4" dynamo on the outside with his great speed. McCullough helps out, Summers, and now they're going to add another great receiver to the mix now with Arlen Bruce. Now we're still going to see exactly in terms of snap count what Arlen Bruce is going to be able to go out there and do tonight. Though he has been practicing with the team since August, he hasn't played in a live game. And when you get into the game environment, just how different it can be, we'll keep an eye certainly on that and see what it's going to be for Bruce. But they are a deep wide receiver group. They can run the football. That offensive line has played really well. And with it, I think the defense has played better for Ankeny than a lot of people expected. What does Coach Woodley have up his sleeve? He's not going to be able to win this game, I don't think, in a shootout. This is one they need to keep it low scoring, 24-20, 20-17. That's the type of game Johnston needs this one to be. And they're going to be able to pull off another upset and get another victory here tonight. A couple other games in Central Iowa. Well, teams from Central Iowa that'll be heading out. Dowling Catholic going to Marshalltown. Haven't played the Bobcats a whole lot recently. 2-3 this season for Marshalltown. We'll see what Dowling Catholic does with the long road trip. And number 1 Southeast Polk, they go to Ottumwa and their matchup coming up this evening. Some of the games we're keeping our eye on in Class 4A. Also, Indianola Ames should be a good one there up at Ames High School. Looking forward to that. Maybe one of our more competitive games we're going to have in Central Iowa is that one come your way this evening. Class 3A, it'll be ADM going on the road against Dallas Center Grimes. Depending on the ranking system you look at, number 1, number 2, DCG. That team plays incredibly well, and they got Norwalk last week and a big victory there for the Mustangs. They look to have all the makings of a team to make a run to the Unidome in Class 3A. Van Meter will be in action. They head up to Carroll Kemper in Class 1A. They're ranked back in the top 5 again this year and have their sights set another state championship with the Bulldogs from Van Meter. A lot of great games. It should be a great one tonight. 2 games for you on CISN. Ankeny hosting Johnston, and the Valley Tigers hosting Waukee. Coming your way next on CISN. Thanks for joining us here on Prep Preview, powered by Fairway.
It's a crisp and clear October night for football in West Des Moines, the setting for an exciting matchup between the 5th-ranked Waukee Warriors and the Valley Tigers. And hello, football fans. Delighted to have you with us on this Friday night at Valley Stadium on CISN.TV. Alongside my broadcast partner, Keith Bornes, I'm Hunter Phillips. Well, Keith, we've reached week 6 of the regular season, and right now there is a sense of urgency for all teams across the state because in 2 weeks, postseason football will get underway. And that means, luckily for us and the fans watching back home, that we'll get to see some exciting football.
We will see some exciting football. And the strange part about this season is you talk about we are in week 6, 1 week away from the end of the regular season. That hasn't happened in 100 years where we only have a 7-game season. And so it's strange. This is about the time teams really start to ramp up. And now you have to be in end of the season form.
Tonight, 2 West Side rivals will duke it out here at Valley Stadium, beginning with the Valley Tigers, Keith, who fell out of the Class 4A top 10 rankings, having now lost 3 straight games and are 1-3 on the season. Last week in their loss to 3rd-ranked Ankeny, the Tigers had to turn to junior signal caller Mason Morrow, who showed a lot of promise despite the quick turnaround.
He is such an incredible competitor that, even if he came up, he's a smart player, but even if he came up to the line of scrimmage and had no idea where he was going, he's going to move the ball forward. He's just a real solid competitor, a good athlete. He has lived and breathed sports. He's in all kinds of sports, playing basketball and baseball as well. My assumption is he's going to be calling the signals again tonight.
Well, things do not get any easier for Valley, however, who will face their 4th straight opponent ranked 5th or higher, and that is the Waukee Warriors, who enter tonight's contest with a 3-2 record. The Warriors put up one of their best performances of the season last Friday, defeating number 9 Johnston 45-17. And Keith, each year Waukee produces some of the best athletes in the state, and it's no different this year with number 5 Aaron Smith. He can do it all.
He can do it all, and right now he is really well known for his success in track. He's a 48 flat FAT quarter miler, and that was done as a sophomore because we were cut short last year with COVID and didn't have a track season. He has turned heads in the track realm, but as of late, especially from last Friday night where they feel like they clocked him at 21 miles per hour, he's turning some heads in football now as well.
Yeah, 12 touchdowns he has scored this year in 4 different ways. Certainly an exciting player to watch here tonight. Again, 2 West Side rivals will duke it out here tonight at Valley Stadium. 5th-ranked Waukee and West Des Moines Valley. We'll take a break, and we'll be back as we get you closer to kickoff here on CISN.TV.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. Without question, the COVID-19 pandemic created many disruptive changes in our lives. Some of us got sick, jobs and income were compromised, it was difficult to even spend time with family and friends. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's Westside Auto Pro's commitment to quality service, and that will never change. We're here to make sure you get maximum performance and reliability from your vehicle. So as we all move forward, keep Westside Auto Pros in mind. You've been through enough. We'll make sure your car is the least of your worries.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
And welcome back here to Valley Stadium on this October Friday night. West Side rivals meeting up here on the gridiron. It is the 5th-ranked Waukee Warriors getting set to take on the Valley Tigers, who are about to run out onto the field. And again, Keith, as we're counting down the minutes to kick off here, the Tigers 1-3, the first time since 2015 that Valley has recorded 3 losses on a season. And when we heard from head coach Gary Swenson in the pregame show with Trent Condon, he said we simply got to keep ourselves in ball games. We got to put ourselves in position to win. Certainly not an easy task tonight against a top 5 team in Waukee, but how do the Tigers keep themselves in this ball game?
Well, there's 2 things that have to happen for Valley to stay in the ball game, and that is going to be their defense, number one. Defensively, they have played solid all year long. Yes, teams have put up points, but that comes off of offensive turnovers and giving up short fields and not necessarily having great coverage on a punt and some of these different things that have really kind of put Valley in a precarious situation, because right now they're not moving the ball offensively as most people would have expected with the skill players that Valley has. They should be able to run with about any team. Right now, struggling a little bit with the offensive line. Last week we seemed to think that they were gelling together. For them to have success tonight, they have to get some nice long drives put together, or they also have to get some big plays. Whatever they can do to keep their defense rested to give them a chance to keep them in the game.
Well, you mentioned the defense for Valley. They're going up against a Waukee team that averages almost 27 points per game, but is coming off their best offensive performance of the season last week against the Johnston Dragons. And, we already mentioned Aaron Smith. A lot of people are going to be keeping their eyes on him, but they have a very talented senior quarterback in Jacob Holcomb who can run the ball, obviously has a very good arm. And then Alexander Winquist, their running back. This is really a multi-pronged offense that Waukee will bring to the field here tonight.
It is. Take a look at Holcomb. He's a well-rounded athlete as well, knows how to lead a team. He was a pitcher on their state qualifying baseball team last summer, and he's thrown for over 700 yards, 9 touchdowns this year. And with Lindquist, this guy can bring some contact, and he also is very elusive, as he's run for 650 yards and a touchdown this year as well. They can spread the ball around and score.
Well, another point that Coach Swenson alluded to, as you see the team captains moving to midfield right now for the coin toss, he was asked about this rivalry, and obviously Valley has the big rivalry with Dowling Catholic, but Waukee has really over the years emerged as a big game against the Valley Tigers. This is the 16th all-time meeting between these two teams. Valley leads the series overall 12-3. They've won 7 straight. Waukee hasn't won against Valley since 2014, so you know that the Warriors are coming in with an edge here tonight.
They are coming in with that edge because, number one, they're a very good football team. They're well coached. They have those guys that can get to the edges quickly, and they can exploit any type of a hole that the defense allows to happen. So tonight, I anticipate that if Waukee gets an inch, they're going to exploit it for a yard or 3 or 10 because they're hungry to get a win over Valley.
Well, we're almost set for kickoff here at Valley Stadium, and last week, Keith, at this time, it was in the 80s. Tonight, 54 degrees, so a little bit different from last week. It's starting to feel like fall football weather. You got to love it.
You do, but I looked ahead. I cheated. It's supposed to be back in the 80s next Friday.
Oh, well, can't say that we can complain about that for October. And luckily, again, through this wild 2020 that we've had and for the start of this football season, every week we have been blessed with some great weather. As you see, Valley will be kicking things off here tonight, and Waukee will receive.
As far as best laid plans right about now, it would be good if the kickoff went into the end zone. I do see number 5 standing back there, just waiting. 2 guys standing next to him. I wouldn't be one bit surprised if it went to one of the wings, if they just didn't run back and hand it to him.
Lennox Krell boots it, and we're underway here at Valley Stadium. It goes to the end zone. Smith receives it, but it will be a touchback, and we'll see the Waukee Warriors out on the field for the first time here tonight. Again, 5th in Class 4A. Are 3-2 on the season, but are coming off a dominant win against 10th-ranked Johnston last week at home, 45-17. Senior quarterback Jacob Holcomb leads the offense out onto the field. And a handoff on first down. And that goes to Lindquist for a couple of yards. And that'll bring up second down for the Waukee Warriors.
Right now, Waukee is, everybody knows that they're going to be keying on Mr. Smith this evening, and so to get him in motion, try and draw people out of the way, get him out of the box, Lindquist up the middle. Good power runner, but Valley right there to make the stop.
On second down, play action. Wide open is a man left side. I believe that's Smith. And there he goes, off to the races. Gets by one defender. See you later. Touchdown, Waukee.
No matter who you are, you're going to look at that and say, wow, that was an athletic play. But what really was impressive is when he did finally get both feet under him and was able to change gears and just run away from the Valley defense.
77-yard reception and touchdown for Aaron Smith. His 13th touchdown of the season altogether. He had a big week last week against Johnston and makes a statement. Extra point on the way for the Warriors is good. So less than a minute into this opening quarter, the Waukee Warriors wasting no time to get on the board. They lead 7-0 over Valley on CISN.TV.
In Iowa, we grow corn. But to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Well, on their second play from scrimmage, the Waukee Warriors get on the board first. They lead 7-0 as they kick it off to Valley, a squib kick. And the Tigers will set up shop for their first series of the night at the 25 and back out. Under center for the Tigers is junior quarterback Mason Morrow, who got the start last week against the Ankeny Hawks. And like we talked about before we came on here, Keith, that he really showed some promise last week, but with a full week of preparation, you got to expect a little bit more.
Well, you do. And the other thing about having this full week of practice is he's been able to watch the linemen all week, and so he can start anticipating where there may or may not be pressure based on what he saw for now 3 days of practice, 4 days of practice rather than just one.
Single back set for the Tigers. Handed off left side. Ball is loose, but it trickles out of bounds. Very fortunate for the Tigers there. That was a hard hit by the defensive back of the Warriors to knock that ball loose.
It was very hard hit. Dion Hutch, the ball carrier on that, and favorable bounce, quick bounce to get out of bounds. Run for 3, gain 2 more on the roll for 5.
And that was Hutch's 4th carry of the season. It's now 2 backs and on 2nd and long. Morrow unloads it. Ball is tipped in the air, bobbled, and it's picked off by Waukee. So that time they take the ball away from the Tigers. And it is all Waukee here in this first minute of the first quarter.
You mentioned that Waukee was going to try and come in with an edge tonight, and they certainly, on their second play from scrimmage, took the edge and ran down the field with it. Now their guys are flying around and making some plays happen. The throw was a little bit high, but when there's 3 defenders that end up being around the ball, they got a better chance of coming down with it than 1 receiver.
Well, and Aaron Smith was the one that helped tip it, as the give is to Lindquist. It gets brought down just shy of the 10-yard line, and I believe that was Ben Halber, senior linebacker, was the one that ended up getting the interception. But, yeah, with so many bodies out there for Waukee, just active getting to the football, caused a fumble on the first carry. Luckily for the Tigers, it bounced out of bounds, but then an early interception, the first thrown by Morrow, and now Waukee is looking for more, as it is 2nd down and 3. Smith is the man in motion, number 5, going far side. High snap. Lindquist drives forward, and that should be enough for the first down. And it will be 1st and goal for Waukee.
Nice initial job by Waukee's offensive line to create the hole, but Lindquist had to do all that work on his own, as he did all the pushing, driving. We got back up, turned around, his linemen were behind him.
Well, and Lindquist, he's been a workhorse for Waukee this year. Coming into tonight's game, he leads Class 4A in carries. Holcomb rolls off to his left, finds a man. In there for the touchdown for Waukee with the extension, and that was Eddie Sadat Jr., the senior tight end. And that is back-to-back touchdowns for the Warriors.
Right now, making it look easy, but it has a lot to do with the overall team speed that Waukee has. This is as fast a team as you're going to see in high school football in the state of Iowa.
So the second throwing touchdown for Jacob Holcomb. And now Lucas Bartacek, the senior. Very good kicker for Waukee. Made the first extra point. He's been perfect on the season. And he remains perfect. Waukee in this West Side rivalry battle, up 14-0 over Valley with 9:38 to go in the first quarter here on CISN.TV.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
Not even 2 minutes into this ball game, and Waukee, the 5th-ranked team in Class 4A, up 14-0 over the Valley Tigers here at Valley Stadium. Hunter Phillips, Keith Borness back here with you. And Keith, man, that was pretty quick, I'd say, for Waukee. I mean, you couldn't picture a better start for this football team, but, you know, for Coach Swenson, again, putting yourself in positions to win, a turnover right off the bat in that kind of field position is not what they wanted to see.
No, it's not. And I do anticipate Valley settling into this game a little bit more. When you practice all week against yourself, you don't really have an opportunity to practice against the speed that's coming. And so it takes a little bit of time. You just hope that what happened doesn't happen in the period of time that it takes you to get adjusted to just the quickness that you're facing.
So Eddie Sadat Jr. with a 6-yard touchdown reception. That came off an interception thrown by Mason Morrow. It is 2nd down and 12. Morrow back to pass. Throws out to Dion Hutch right side. And that doesn't get to the original line of scrimmage. And it'll be 3rd and long now for the Valley Tigers, who desperately need a big play here.
And a little bit of time to run off the clock, as Waukee is certainly chomping at the bits, trying to get in there, disrupt things. They don't want to have them force a punt. They want to take the ball, score defensively.
Morrow unloads it left side, has a man. That's Raridan, but a nice open field tackle made there near side of the sideline, and it'll be a 4th down for Valley.
And you'll never guess who was over here. Young man by the name of Mr. Smith, number 5, kind of scouring all over the defensive backfield there. Not a bad person to have on patrol.
Especially with the speed, and then you couple that with the tackling ability in open space, bringing down Eli Raridan, who is 6'6". Punt team now out for Valley. They go 3 and out. Dawson Stein, who's had a great season, boots it, and it will be fair caught by Joe Morrison at the 25. And so Waukee, they have been 2 for 2, Keith. When they've had the football, they've wasted no time getting on the scoreboard, and they've done it with a combination of running the football and Holcomb just finding his targets.
He has, and it has a lot to do with the fact that Waukee's pass offense, they have such quick hitters. Whether Valley's defensive line is getting a good push or not, the ball is released so quickly to any of those weapons that they have on the outside.
So not just the speed in terms of athletes, but getting the ball out quickly as Lindquist gets the carry. Ball was loose for a second, but I believe Waukee got back on top of it. So no gain on 1st down, and that's a positive play there for the Valley defensive line.
Nice job getting into the gaps, and most teams have this gap-controlled defense. They want to get in there. Sometimes your defensive line will rush too far upfield, but they did a great job getting into their gaps and finding the ball.
Trey Krause, the senior DB, credited with the tackle. Holcomb sends it deep downfield and overthrows Smith, who hauled one in. It was more of a screen pass and then took off for the races for a 77-yard touchdown here earlier in the quarter. But now it is 3rd down, the first time that Waukee's been in a 3rd down situation here in this first quarter.
Well, Coach Rebarger's doing a great job dialing up a defense against Aaron Smith. He is getting a double team on him, trying to get him at the line and then get him downfield as well. And the defensive backs have done a great job just kind of slowing him down, creating that overthrow.
Smith one-on-one far side. But the give is to Lindquist. Jumps midair, but Brian Urato, along with a few other Tigers, there to make the stop, and that is a very big series for Valley's defense after giving up 2 touchdowns to begin this game.
3 plays to get 5 yards. That is exactly what Coach Rebarger was hoping to have happen. Now we're entering another phase of the game here with the punt return. Kicking game being the sometimes extremely important 3rd of the football game.
Garrett Smith, the senior, with a high squibbly punt. Received at the 32. Goes right side, and there's Dubrava with room at the 30. Still on his feet. Dubrava inside the 5. What a return by the senior.
Mason Dubrava doing a great job We talked a little bit about him last week. He's got some shake and bake. He's also a very good sprinter, as Coach Drigsted's done some nice things with him and a track team. I'm sure he's looking forward to another good spring with Mr. Dubrava as we head that direction.
Well, it was a positive direction for Mason Dubrava, who came in averaging 25.5 yards per punt return. I think the Waukee coaching staff was wanting a block in the back, but nevertheless, this is a big break for the Tigers. Again, Keith, you mentioned big plays. This is what the Tigers needed as they are inside the 5 looking to punch it in. High formation for Valley, loaded up box by Waukee. Morrow hands it off to Hutch. End zone, touchdown Tigers.
And there isn't anybody in the world happier than Mason Dubrava, as he had such a great punt return to set that up. It's only fitting that the offense finished that drive off for him. Great turn of events. Valley just needs to keep settling in, playing defense. Don't get too excited about things. Slow them down.
Will Fisher sends up the extra point, and it is good. So the Valley Tigers storm back after a big punt return by Mason Dubrava, and Dion Hutch scores his first touchdown of the season, 14-7. Waukee on top of Valley on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
6.5 minutes to go in what has been an exciting first quarter here at Valley Stadium. Waukee leading Valley 14-7. And Keith, it was all set up by that 65-yard punt return by Mason Dubrava. And how about Dion Hutch, who has been involved here early on in the ballgame, punching it in from 4 yards out.
One of the things that Dion Hutch is doing right now is he is trusting that where he is supposed to go, where the play is designed to go, he is trusting that it's there, and he is running as hard as he can to that point. Sometimes people have memories in this game, and they think, oh, it wasn't here last time, so I'm going to move out just a little bit. Hutch, he doesn't have those bad memories yet, so he is in, running where he should be, and that was a touchdown in the making.
Lennox Krell sends it away for the Tigers. And another very good kick by Krell, as it will be a touchback, and the Warriors will be back out on the field at the 20-yard line. And Keith, we saw Valley's defense really step up in a nice way as Waukee went 3 and out on their last series after scoring in their first 2 series here of the first quarter.
Mm-hmm. It has a lot to do with the fact of trying to minimize the impact of somebody like an Aaron Smith, who is now going to be split out to the far side, trying to figure out how to double team but yet not give up another opportunity for somebody else to break it into a big play.
Lindquist gets the carry. Very good gain on first down, but there was a flag in the backfield, and I think this will be moving back for Waukee.
I think so. I saw one of the Valley jerseys get turned to the side, which usually means he got held up just a little bit. So as we look at it from the coaching side of things, it's a 10-yard penalty in the books, but the result of the play, it's a 20-yard penalty on the hold.
So it backs up the Warriors to the 10-yard line. Brad Bunting is our head referee for tonight's game here at Valley Stadium. Once again, we're delighted to have you with us here on CISN.TV, one of 2 games that we're showing tonight, and 2 very good games at that, as Johnston is at Ankeny. So they'll redo it on first down. Lindquist up the middle. Gain of a couple, and it'll still be 2nd and long for Waukee, who in less than 2 minutes in this first quarter was able to put up 2 touchdowns, 2 throwing scores by senior quarterback Jacob Holcomb. But Valley's defense has come alive here in the last couple of minutes.
Coach Cooley telling his defensive line, you just got to do what we need you to do. Don't do more than, but certainly don't do less. Get into your gap and sustain that spot.
Lindquist cuts to the right. Big hit by a pair of Tigers. So Lindquist gets to the original line of scrimmage, but that was a big hit delivered by Bobby Cobine.
Bobby Cobine coming in and finishing that play off. Cobine, a wrestler for Coach Young here at Valley.
Holcomb throws off to the flat. Great open field tackle on Aaron Smith.
Ethan Siskowski, who has put together a fantastic senior campaign, up right away to greet the football as it got to Mr. Smith.
Well, and you're starting to see and hear the Valley fans getting a little bit loud now, as that's back-to-back great series defensively by Valley. And now if you're Garrett Smith, the punter for Waukee, maybe think twice about punting it to number 5, Mason Dubrava, who again returned it for 65 yards. But as the ball was snapped, we do have a stoppage. So that will back up the Warriors even more so. Second penalty here in the quarter for Waukee. So now the Valley receivers right at midfield to receive the punt from Garrett Smith. Just gets it away. Valley will let it hop. Dion Hutch chasing it. Gets it at the 41 and goes for about 6 yards, and Valley will have good field position again at midfield here for this drive.
Hunter, it's time to go over the 3 rules of the kicking game. Number 1, don't be offsides. Number 2, don't rough the kicker or the holder. And number 3, never let the ball hit the ground. On average, you lose 15 yards when the ball is rolling around. When I saw Hutch go after that ball after it hit the ground, I was a little nervous because they do take some crazy hops. Hutch able to track it down and make something positive out of it.
And Hutch is back out on the field as the tailback. We have yet to see Jaden Williams take a snap, but he is in full uniform with his helmet on, but still on the sidelines. Movement on the line. And so the frustrations continue here all of a sudden for Waukee.
Nice job of having some self-discipline there by the Valley offensive line. A lot of shifting going on, and we certainly know how aggressive Waukee has come in and played tonight, trying to get them to jump off sides a little bit, and it happened.
On Waukee coming off a very good defensive outing against Johnston. Held the Dragons to -6 rushing yards and sacked the quarterback 4 times. Meanwhile, just a blaze of speed that time by Hutch, finding a nice opening left side.
That had the potential to go a long way, but a great job by Chase Evanson as he dove for the ankles of Hutch. Came up holding his arm a little bit. When you take your arm and take a swipe at somebody's feet, your arm usually does not win.
Well, Waukee's defensive backs have done a very good job of open field tackling. Just the latest example of it right there. 2nd down and 3 for Valley. Hutch again. Gets enough for the first down. Got to be really impressed with what we've seen out of Dion Hutch here to begin this ball game.
You know, Dion Dion Hutch, when he was a freshman, he was a backup running back. Saw some action, but, with Jaden Williams, the Hutch has got minimal carries. Coach Bakey said their sophomore campaign, the Hutch has really started to turn it on, talking about Dion and his brother. And tonight we're seeing some great things out of how he has progressed over his years.
Play action. Morrow finds a man, and it will be enough for a Valley first down. Drew Peterson with the grab, and that is just a great find there on the run by Mason Morrow.
Nice job. Last week we had to talk about Morrow setting the run up by passing. Tonight, Hutch has been able to move the ball down the field. We've gotten a great push off the offensive line by Valley. Now the run set up a great pass to the fullback coming out of the backfield.
The Tigers showing balance, and how about the response from them? 2 plays as an offense, they turn it over, and it led to a Waukee score. But just like that, the ball is loose on the handoff, but the Tigers get back on top of it. Shouldn't have talked so soon there.
And some laundry coming up as something is going to be called here, maybe some type of a personal foul. I don't know why it came in late. But Hutch doing a great job not trying to pick the ball up and run, just dropping on it where it fell.
Well, this is going to be a penalty, it looks like, on Waukee. They're going to get defensive tackle Aiden Gutierrez with a late hit. And now the penalties are mounting up for Waukee, something they did not want to have happen, is lose control of this football game after such a great start. But it pushes the Tigers up to inside the 20-yard line.
So far, Valley doing a great job keeping their composure. Danny Rankin is checked into the backfield for the Tigers.
Rankins gets the pitch. And a great tackle made there on the near side by Chase Evanson.
That is 2 plays that Mr. Evanson has been in the right spot, because Danny Rankins has some good speed. If he does not make that ankle tackle, Rankins is moving further down the field. So excellent job there by the Waukee linebacker.
He is second on the team in total tackles, 28.5 tackles on the season coming into tonight's contest. As we have under 2 minutes to go here in what has been a great first quarter of action between these two West Side rivals. And a timeout is going to have to be called by head coach Gary Swenson. There was some confusion before the snap. So we will step aside during the timeout as well. 1:41 to go in the first quarter. 14-7 Waukee on CISN.TV.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
So out of the timeout, Valley back on offense. Morrow in trouble, and he gets brought down for a big loss. Jermaine Samler, senior linebacker, raced in and threw down Mason Morrow for a big loss there on second down.
Samler, a 2-time state qualifier in wrestling. But I feel like his dad played for Valley back around 92, 93.
Well, he used the football pedigree and those wrestling skills to his advantage there, and Morrow really had nowhere to go as that was broken up quickly. So a disappointing play for Valley out of their own timeout. Makes it 3rd and very long. Faking the pitch and running it up the middle is Morrow. Gets away from one tackler and then lunges forward. Gets it inside the 25-yard line. And now the field goal team will come out for the Tigers.
Great job there by Morrow, faking the pitch and calling his known number up the middle there. This puts Valley back into field goal range. Looking at a 40-yard attempt here.
Lennox Krell, he is 2 for 2 on the season. His long is 43. So well within his range. The kick is up. It definitely has the distance. And it is true. What a boot by Lennox Krell, the senior.
And just in case you were wondering how high it was up on the goalpost, well, just take a look at where it hit. It was plenty of leg.
You certainly take it if you're the Tigers. So back-to-back series where they are able to score. This time a field goal by Lennox Krell. And we will stay here as there's just 10 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. Now all of a sudden you kind of feel like the momentum is hanging with Valley right now.
Well, it is. And the one thing that needs to happen for Valley to stay in is they have to keep minimizing the effect of Aaron Smith. And when in so doing that, they also have to make sure that they got more weapons that they have to make sure that they're covering as well. So they've done a good job trying to take away. You're not going to stop them. You just got to contain it. And then on offense, keep chipping away. We also saw the third phase of the game in the kicking. Anytime you have a chance to make the big play, you got to take it.
Boy, and it really all started with Mason Dubrava on that punt return, and that gave the life that Valley needed when they were down 14-0. Again, Waukee with such a great start in the first 2 minutes, but the Tigers regrouping nicely. Krell will boot it away. This time it will not be a touchback as Smith takes it. Shakes off, goes near side, and gets brought down. And Waukee will have one play to work with 2 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. But Smith with a very good return there.
A fantastic return. I am going to call that a 34-yard return because I happen to think he was in the end zone. I know he was standing in there. I thought the ball had looked like it had crossed the goal line as well. But the official standing right there said, no, go ahead and run it.
Jacob Holcomb puts Smith in motion. Lindquist with the carry. Charges ahead for 3 yards, and that will take us to the end of the opening quarter. What a great opening quarter of football here at Valley Stadium. A close one as 5th-ranked Waukee leads Valley 14-10. We'll be back with the second quarter after these messages on CISN.TV.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hi, I'm Chris with Fireplace Superstore. Fall's upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need a new Heat and Glow high-efficient gas direct vent. These are ideal for your new construction project, for your remodeling project, or for removing your old wood-burning fireplace and replacing it with a new Heat and Glow high-efficient gas direct vent. Come see us today at Fireplace Superstore, 10820 Douglas in Urbandale.
Welcome back here to Valley Stadium on this crisp and clear October Friday night. And after one quarter of play, Waukee leading 14-10. Hunter Phillips and Keith Bornas, along with our CISN.TV crew, delighted to have you with us. And Keith, we began the broadcast saying that, we're 2 weeks away from postseason football. Next week is the last week of the regular season. The sense of urgency is high, and we certainly saw that in that first quarter.
We did, and now we got a tight end screen going out here. An outstanding call dialed up there by Coach Carlson. All flow going to the right side, and tight end scoots out here to the near side. And, we talked about making sure that both teams come in ready to play, have to be beyond mid-season form, and both teams are looking very solid.
That was Eddie Sadat Jr., who caught a 6-yard touchdown pass from Jacob Holcomb. That was the second of the 2 touchdowns scored by the Warriors there within the first 2 minutes of the first quarter. Waukee changing personnel. Holcomb looks right side, takes off on the left side, and gets shoved down. Big hit there by Valley. That was Jack Yenser delivering the hit.
Jack Yenser. There's been a few Yensers mentioned on CISN as the family has come through Valley football. Jack, I believe here is the final one to come through, and he's doing a great job. He's a linebacker. Has played some fullback as well.
And some movement by Waukee. They had 5 penalties, Keith, in the first quarter. This is number 6 already here in this first half for the Warriors.
When you come in and you are real aggressive and you're fired up, ready to go, and all these things are happening, and your opponent, who has kind of taken it to you the last several years, they seem to be calm and relaxed, and you want to get a jump on it because you know you're going to get a great push, and then something goes wrong, and then pretty soon several things go wrong.
Holcomb throws it deep right side, but overthrows his man Aaron Smith, who did have some space. Mason Dubrava in coverage for the Tigers, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 13 for Waukee, who has gone 3 and out in their last 2 series.
That right there just shows all the respect that the Valley defensive backfield has for Aaron Smith, as he did have plenty of space. Neither of the defensive backs wanted to get too close to him, because if he does catch the ball, they're not going to catch him.
4 receiver set for Waukee. Holcomb hands it off to Lindquist. Good spacing there on the near side, but it will not be enough for a first down for Waukee. Offense is staying out on the field at the moment for the Warriors.
Yeah, a little too far to kick the field goal, or maybe not. We're looking at 50 yards, 51. Then the question becomes, do we go ahead and try the field goal? If we do and we don't make it, it's a touchback. Do we want to go ahead and rely on our skills guys to get us those 4 yards that we need, 5 yards that we need? Or do we want to try and make them jump off sides?
A new offensive lineman does come in for Waukee. They do go for it on 4th down. Holcomb with plenty of time. No options, well covered downfield by Valley's secondary, but there is a flag that was in the backfield.
It does appear as though Jacob Allen was there just a little bit too aggressively. As we had talked about earlier, trying to keep Valley in this game, you have to play good, focused assignment football, and that's just a lack of focus. Giving up a huge penalty. You had an opportunity to take the ball over right there at the 34-yard line. Now it's first and 10 from the 20 for Waukee.
So we'll see what the Warriors do after getting the gift of that penalty there. Lindquist, the carrier. Nice gain on first down for the senior tailback.
Pickup of about 7.
Lindquist last week against Johnston, 22 carries, 116 yards, and 1 score. Entered the night 5th in Class 4A in total rushing yards with 658. Here's Lindquist again. Smothered by 3 Tigers. That is going to be close to the first down marker.
Well, it looks like they're going to give it to him. The official on the far sideline said, move the chains, or at least the down mark.
So it is first down for Waukee. They're all looking over at the sideline to get the play call. They've been very good in the red zone as of late and have scored once in the red zone here tonight. Here's Lindquist. Brings a couple of defenders with him and crosses inside the 5-yard line. Holcomb again, he does have 2 passing touchdowns tonight, but when you can give it to a guy like Lindquist who runs with so much speed and power, that's a great thing for a quarterback to go to. There's Lindquist. Trying to move some players with them. Did he cross the line?
It's going to be 3rd down. But
Just shy.
Yeah, Waukee's doing a great job getting a push, and they are hurrying to the line as we can anticipate a quarterback sneak here.
Holcomb dives in, and he will get the touchdown. Still waiting for the signal.
There it is.
Holcomb with his 3rd touchdown of the night, first rushing touchdown here on the evening for Waukee. And what a big statement for them, as they had started to lose the momentum a little bit, but they drive down the field and get the touchdown.
The penalty by Allen just became that much more painful.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for senior Jacob Holcomb. And now Lucas Bartacek, again perfect on the season. And PATs, it's 2 for 2 tonight. The snap, not a very good snap. The hold is good, and the extra point is good. 9:04 remaining in this first half. It's been a great one so far. 21-10, Waukee leads Valley here on CISN.TV.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back here at Valley Stadium, a short kick by Waukee. Valley fumbles the ball. The Warriors thought they had it, but the Tigers, again, at least at the moment, thought they had it. Still waiting for a signal from the referees, and this would be a massive turnover.
I could see it from here. He was plainly down. As I say with a sigh of relief.
Yeah, big sigh of relief, not only for yourself, but for the Valley coaching staff as well. So that would have been the second turnover of the first half.
Waukee doing a great job mixing the ball up where they're placing it on their kickoffs. So on first down, play action, Morrow chased out of the pocket.
Heaves it way downfield. Dangerous throw, and it's picked off by the Warriors. That's such a tough throw to make downfield, and the Warriors make him pay. Second interception thrown tonight by Mason Morrow.
Yes, kind of an ill-advised throw, as he did have space to run. And when you're a quarterback and you have the sideline there, a lot of times we just want you to take that ball, tuck it, get what you can. People close in on you, step out of bounds.
So now the Waukee offense is back out on the field. The last time they got a Valley turnover, they were able to capitalize by scoring a touchdown. Play action, Holcomb. He decides to throw it deep. And well past his target, Aaron Smith. And that'll bring up second down for Waukee.
Again, another great job by Valley defender, just trying to, we'll call it impede the progress down the field. And not quite interference, but impede. And because of that, the ball looks like it is certainly overthrown and not catchable.
So 2nd and 10 for the Warriors, who led 14-10 after the first quarter. Holcomb, dangerous throw, nearly picked off, but he's able to find his man. And a gain of about 4 yards. Lindquist with the catch. His first reception on the night. It'll still be third down for Waukee.
Mason DeBravo has already had a great job, a great night so far in the defensive backfield, and had a great punt return. Very close to getting an interception there.
So now it's 3rd and 10 for Waukee. Valley bringing the pressure. Lindquist gets by one Tiger defender and then gets met up by 3 or 4 members of the Valley defense. And it'll be 4th down for Waukee.
Nice job there by Brian Urado and Drew Henderson as they get the initial stop or the initial slowdown, and then the rest of the defensive line coming in to get a push and hold it off. That was a great surge by the Waukee offensive line, but just 3 yards short.
Valley's defense coming up there as Waukee unable to capitalize on getting their second interception of the night. Garrett Smith to punt, nearly blocked. And it'll be received by Dion Hutch, who called a fair catch at the 30-yard line. So now we'll see Valley's offense back out onto the field, and it'll be interesting to see here, Keith, how Mason Morrow was able to respond. A couple of interceptions here tonight. He's made some really nice throws as well, but certainly learning as he's going. Again, making his second career start here tonight, but needs to shake off that last interception.
Absolutely. A quarterback's best friend is a short-term memory. And he, as long as he does not remember what happened last time or can shake it off, usually you can get a pretty good push coming down the next series. And he had an opening there. Nessheim just had the ball in his hands, let it go.
The first target to Cale Nessheim here tonight. And speaking of the personnel, have yet to call Matthew Mahoney's name. Waukee has done a good job of covering the senior wide receiver, and another senior we have yet to see play a snap is Jaden Williams. Dion Hutch is still the running back. He has done the bulk of the work tonight for the Tigers. 2nd and 10. Pressured again. Finds Raritan out in the flat, but nothing going. Waukee's defensive line and linebackers, that front seven, Keith, they have just been all over Mason Morrow here tonight.
They have been, and Morrow's doing everything he can to get himself some space to throw the ball. He's done a good job with it, but sometimes the adrenaline just kind of creates in your mind that your arm is a little stronger than it actually is on the previous series. Getting rid of the ball quickly, not necessarily allowing the play to develop. So, yeah, Waukee doing a great job keeping the pressure on.
So 3rd and 10. On the move is Morrow. Gets through a crease and is just a few yards shy of the first down. But Morrow tucking and running it, not trying to chance it downfield. And the Valley offense is going to stay on the field here. This will be their first 4th down try of the night with just under 6.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Drew Peterson checks in for the Tigers.
Timeout's going to have to happen here as Coach Swenson was just running out of time.
So while the Tigers talk things over, we will step aside here on CISN.TV.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. Without question, the COVID-19 pandemic created many disruptive changes in our lives. Some of us got sick, jobs and income were compromised, it was difficult to even spend time with family and friends. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's Westside Auto Pro's commitment to quality service, and that will never change. We're here to make sure you get maximum performance and reliability from your vehicle. So as we all move forward, keep Westside Auto Pros in mind. You've been through enough. We'll make sure your car is the least of your worries.
Welcome back here to Valley Stadium, and after a timeout called by head coach Gary Swenson, it looks like Valley will indeed punt. They thought about going for it on 4th and short, but on their side of the field did not want to take a chance. Dawson Stein with a nice punt, and the fair catch is caught at the 25-yard line by Lindquist, and so that is where Waukee will be back out on the field here for yet another series. Scored a touchdown earlier here in the second quarter. That coming at the 9-minute mark. Jacob Holcomb with a quarterback keeper from inside the 1-yard line. Part of a very good overall drive by Waukee, who has really had some success, Keith, running the football here in the second quarter with Lindquist.
Yes, Lindquist has become a load, and he's got a great line and tight end that are blocking ahead of him for him as well.
Well, the blocking was not there for Waukee that time. Brian Urado, one of a few Tigers that were in there to smother the senior quarterback, and it's a loss of 2 yards.
Waukee not wasting any time as they come to the line. Not necessarily a hurry up, but a hurry stay set.
Multiple flags thrown before the play. The one thing that's been the Achilles heel for Waukee tonight is just the miscues. So they're approaching 10 penalties already, and we haven't even reached the first half point.
Yeah. So with that, it's time to talk a little bit about my first hour this morning. We were sitting there, and over the loudspeaker came Mr. Perigo, and he was reminding the students that no junior high students are going to be going to the game tonight. So I reminded them that they could certainly watch the game tonight on CISN.
Got your plug in?
Yeah, I got my plug in, and I was stunned when Osman, young man in class, said, "What? You watch it on TV?" I said, "Well, you hook it into the computer. I'll even give you a shout out." So Osman, hope you're watching.
Oh, man. Hope you are watching. Smith, meanwhile, doing a little shake and bake. close to the first down marker, and they will move the chains as Aaron Smith, in a flash, gets the reception and gets the first down after that penalty by Waukee. Holcomb throws it out right side. Pass is incomplete.
And talk about wishing you could have something back, as Hayden Huntley had a lot of green in front of him, was ready to turn upfield, but the ball just hadn't gotten to him yet.
That was the first target for the junior here tonight. 2nd and 10 for Waukee, who was up 21-10. Holcomb again fires it right side. Lindquist with the catch in the backfield, but he's upended by Mason DeBrava.
Mason DeBrava came in like a shot. My goodness. And, yeah, there was nowhere to go. Upended, feet overhead. Great tackle by DeBrava.
DeBrava has shined tonight and throughout his senior season. 3rd and 9. The Valley faithful starting to make some noise. Holcomb, plenty of time in the pocket, but has to roll out and throws it out of bounds. Nothing going for Waukee, so a good stand by Valley's defense.
This is one of those things that Coach Rebarger really wants to make sure his defense plays well on, is the 3rd down scenario, especially the 3rd and long. You play hard for that many plays. You need to get a stop. You need to get that finish, because it's those 3rd and long completions that just really take all the wind out of your sail.
So the Waukee punt team back out onto the field. Garrett Smith will boot this away. 2 Valley receivers are back inside the 25-yard line. Flag thrown before it is caught, as the Tigers bring it into the 35-yard line.
I don't know who that official was, but that flag flew a long way. Sign him up for the flag throwing contest.
Yeah, I mean, that went a good...
I think it almost went 30 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 25 yards.
There's only one person around that's going to be able to throw that flag that far, and he's standing right behind me. Josh Waymeyer, the Valley March Masters guru, is in the house. And I think he's the only one that really could have given the official a run on that one.
It is going to go against Valley. It's 10 yards from the end of the run, and it was not much of a run allowed there by Waukee. And the Valley sideline, they are not happy.
Well, the question is, was it a change of possession type thing? And so Coach Swenson is trying to get an explanation as to what he can actually choose to do.
So while Waukee's defensive unit is on the field, the offensive unit for Valley huddled up right there on your screen, and Coach Swenson still looking for an explanation. 3 referees are around him.
So Osman, great young man. You got a second here to... I told him I was going to throw his name out there. I'll just let him know that appreciate his efforts in class and look forward to seeing him again on, well, I think he was in class today, so I'll see him on Tuesday.
Well, and I want to give a special shout out to Stillwell, too. That's where I went to middle school. So absolutely, to all the youngsters over there. Had some fun times there at Stillwell for sure, and that was really funny to see after the change made there from the officials. There was a standing ovation from the Valley fans that are sitting in front of us, again spread out. with proper social distancing guidelines. So now we're back underway. 1st and 10, 4:15 to go here in this first half. Valley has struck out the last few times on offense, trying to put something together. Dion Hutch gets past a couple of Waukee defenders and gains 10 on the first down carry. Dion Hutch showing off here in this first half.
And, he's one of those young men, he and his brother both, a lot of time in the weight room, a lot of time working and improving themselves. He did not have that burst of speed when he was a freshman, so I can really appreciate how much work he has put in, the time and the effort. Good for you, Dion Hutch. Good luck to you. Keep it trucking.
Well, Valley has to be really excited about not only Dion Hutch, who jukes past a pair of Warrior defenders. So you have Dion Hutch, who has put together more carries tonight than he's done all season. And then you have Danny Rankins, also a member of that junior class as well. And Valley's been known to have at least 2 running backs that they can go to throughout the season, and that is an exciting duo for next year even. So 2nd down and 7, Tigers at midfield. Morrow, quick throw off of the flat right side to Hutch. He moves to the middle of the field. Big gain of 20 by Dion Hutch.
All you young football players watching tonight, that is the epitome of carrying the ball correctly, as Hutch had that high and tight, taking the swing pass, and big gain. But when he got into traffic, that ball got tucked away hard.
And how about this, Keith? Coming into tonight's game, Dion Hutch did not have a catch this season, but showing off great hands. And then again, the ball security, really important there at the running back position. Mahoney in motion, give up the middle, and another very good gain for the Tigers on 1st down.
A couple of things that are going very well right now for the Tigers is they're moving the ball well. They're getting chunks of 5 and 8 and 10 and 5. And as they're doing this, the clock is running down as well. So it puts Valley in a good position here as they are inside the 40-yard line, inside the 35, inside the 30. We're getting close to field goal range. So hopefully points are on the way for the Tigers as that clock continues to run.
Now inside of 2 minutes, Danny Rankins with the carry and gets the 1st down. So the 2 juniors have toted the rock nicely tonight for Valley.
Holy smokes, the official waited forever to blow the whistle there. Forward progress had stopped. People are ripping at the ball, and yet no signal, no whistle from the official.
Well, luckily for Rankins, he was able to hang on to it despite the whistle not being blown. And another 1st down for the Tigers on a promising drive, their best drive here in the 2nd quarter. Big hit as the pass is caught by Raridan, but he did not go very far as he was met immediately by Joe Morrison.
Nice job there by Mason Morrow to reverse out, get a little space to throw. Raridan up to try and make the grab. The hit was hard, but you have to give credit to Joe Morrison there as he got up as well. You deliver a hit like that against, well, let's face it, a man like Raridan, that's not going to feel all that great.
Morrison leads the team in tackles. He is the heartbeat of this Waukee defense. 2nd and 10. Morrow backtracking, and the ball knocked loose by Waukee's defense. Braden Menz, defensive lineman, got his paws on it, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 10. And whenever Waukee's been able to bring that pressure, they've made Morrow backtrack and make him uncomfortable, and he has made a couple errant throws here tonight that have landed in the hands of the Waukee defenders.
Yeah, nice job there. Valley was trying to set up a screen, and the great thing that Waukee did on that play is as they were putting pressure on the quarterback. They were putting pressure on with their hands up. Knock the ball away.
Morrow rolls to his right. Nothing going downfield. Chucks it. And did he bring it down?
What?
Yes, he
catch!
did. Highlight reel grab by the senior Matthew Mahoney. How about that for your first reception on the night?
I'll take it. That was as good a catch as I have seen in high school football. Pass a little bit behind him, pressure all around, great coverage, and Matthew Mahoney reaches back with his right arm, makes the catch, and stays in bounds.
Big third down conversion for the Tigers, and somebody better contact SportsCenter on that one. Play action, Morrow throws it off to the left side. Mahoney goes opposite side of the field and runs out of bounds. Well covered by Waukee on both sides of the field.
You know, you talk about SportsCenter a little bit. I don't know if people remember this or not, but currently on the Valley football staff, freshman coach Ryan Dixon, when he was a player at Valley, he made SportsCenter.
He did. I do remember that.
Yeah.
The year he was a senior.
Indeed.
And they won the title.
Merrill Hodge kind of showing the world the brilliance of Ryan Dixon.
What a great fullback he was for the Tigers, now a member of the staff. As Hutch gets the carry, goes inside the 10-yard line. We have under 1 minute to go here in this first half. Valley has not scored a touchdown since the 6:30 mark back in the first quarter. The clock continues to roll. Valley does have one timeout remaining. But it is third down. Valley looking for 6 here. Mahoney in motion. Morrow rolls over to his left. Nowhere to go. And the Waukee defense all over Mason Morrow that time. As the clock continues to tick, and Valley's going to have to burn a timeout here in order for them to get a field goal attempted. And Coach Swenson calls a timeout with 2 seconds remaining here in the half.
I think it's shout-out time. Coach Alice, one of the sophomore football coaches here at Valley, his grandparents are watching tonight down in Newport Richey, Florida. So Wally and Darla Hayes, thank you for your support. And I hope the weather is beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure, no doubt, the weather is beautiful down there in Florida. We're seeing our producer, Anna Bassett, over to our right. She has got a big coat on right now. It is a little chilly. But, yeah, if you could send some of that warm weather up north, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Or just the warm thoughts, yes.
Yes. Lennox Krell from 30 yards out made one from 40 earlier in the first quarter. This one from the left hash. Got enough leg. Is it through? Yes, it is. So a big field goal made by Lennox Krell to put the Tigers on the board to close out the first half. 21-13. Waukee will take the lead into the locker room. And so we will go ahead and step aside and take a break. When we come back, we will have the Iowa Corn halftime show next here on CISN.TV.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience, one customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
And welcome here to the Iowa Corn halftime show. What a great game we have had thus far. Number 5 Waukee leading Valley here at Valley Stadium, 21-13. Hunter Phillips and Keith Bornas back here with you. And Keith, again, I'll just go back to the point that we brought up to begin the broadcast, in that there's a big sense of urgency for both of these teams, all of the teams across the state, as they're priming themselves for the postseason. A really fantastic first quarter we saw from both teams, and then there was really I thought the second quarter was really physical and not as much scoring as we saw in the first quarter, but all in all, between these two rivals, I mean, what a great first half we saw.
A great first half. And Valley was kind of expecting Waukee to come out and hit hard right away, and Waukee wanted to come over and hit hard right away and to go up 14-0. The one thing that coaches are always going to say is when things get crazy, teams will get one touchdown because they're good, and they'll get one touchdown because they're lucky. And, Waukee got that first touchdown because they're good. And then coming off of the interception, they got another quick score. They're good defensively, but they got a little bit of luck on that as well. And so when you take those two plays out of it and both teams starting to settle in, we're looking at a very tight game. And both teams, I'm going to go out on a limb and say both teams are gearing up and looking for postseason here.
So, again, you mentioned the fast start by Waukee and Aaron Smith, the guy who's just been taking Iowa high school football by storm. A 77-yard touchdown reception on the very second play of scrimmage for Waukee. And then Eddie Sadat Jr. with a 6-yard reception. That came off of an interception thrown by Mason Morrow. But then after Valley's defense came up with a big stop, Keith, a 65-yard punt return by Dubrava. And that led to a 4-yard run by Dion Hutch, who's been fantastic for the Tigers here in this first half.
I tell you, he is bringing everything he's got tonight, and he's got a lot to show for the work that he has put into it. And I'm not only impressed, I'm very grateful that he works as hard as he does, because Valley they're needing him tonight.
Valley's other points came from 2 field goals made by Lennox Krell, one from 40 yards out in the first quarter. And then, as you saw, they're going into halftime with 2 seconds remaining in the first half, one from 30 yards out. Jacob Holcomb with a 1-yard touchdown scamper at the 9-minute mark there in the second quarter. So, again, as it stands, 21-13, Waukee over Valley. Now you'll get to hear the Valley Marchmasters here on the Iowa Corn halftime show on CISN.TV. A fantastic performance by the Valley March Masters, as always, here on this cool, crisp, and just absolutely wonderful October Friday night here at Valley Stadium. We'll step aside and we'll return to break things all down next here on the Iowa Corn Halftime Show on CISN.TV.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience, one customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
And welcome back here to the Iowa Corn Halftime Show on CISN.TV. Waukee leading here at the break, 21-13. Hunter Phillips and Keith Bornas back here with you. And Keith, while we have some time before the second half will get underway, why don't we look at some other scores going on across the Metro? Some really good games going on here tonight. Of course, another game on our network on CISN.TV. Number 9 Johnston at number 3 Ankeny. And needless to say, the Hawks, they're just one of the hottest teams in the state right now. They're leading 21-0 at half against Johnston, who fell to Waukee last week.
And, you know, Waukee beat Dowling. Waukee over Ankeny, and teams just really mixing things up here in central Iowa. And when you have arguably the top 5 teams in the state right here in the central playing each other, it brings for a lot of excitement. But Johnston, as good as they are, certainly have their hands full tonight.
Meanwhile, number 4, Dowling Catholic, they had to travel north to Marshalltown to take on the Bobcats, and it is all Dowling Catholic right now. They are leading at halftime with a similar score of 21-0. Meanwhile, the top-ranked team in the state, Southeast Polk, they also had to travel quite a bit, going out to Ottumwa. And right now, with 7:13 to go in the first half, it is 34-0 Southeast Polk over the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Again, neither Southeast Polk or Dowling Catholic played last week. They were scheduled to play Des Moines public school teams, but unfortunately, again, they are still unable to play right now. But really no surprises when you look at those scores.
No, the teams that are supposed to be out in front winning right now, according to their rankings and according to, you know, you poll your coaches around the area and say, all right, yes, I'd like to be in the mix of that, but really this is kind of where it's falling. And so, yes, no surprises to the scores that are going on right now.
Well, before we do take one final break, before we get ready for the second half, what are you looking forward to watching the most here in this second half? Because the competition really heated up there in that second quarter between both of these teams. And, again, they're both rivals. Waukee, they're trying to end that losing streak against Valley, but Valley, they're trying to get off the schneid. They're on a 3-game losing streak, so it has the makings to be a really fun and energetic second half coming up.
It does, and so you kind of take the approach of maybe what the coaches would be talking about at halftime. You know, from Waukee's standpoint, hey, let's not make this a Valley Waukee football game. Let's make this a Waukee football game and just play our game. If we get all caught up in the rivalry itself in this situation, we're jumping off sides. We're too excited. We want this so badly that we're making more mistakes than we typically do, and so they just need to settle in and play Waukee football. It's from Valley's sideline. They're progressing, and the goal is to keep progressing. And Coach Gary Swenson is a mastermind when it comes to adjustments that are made at halftime. He was able to slow Ankeny down at halftime. This score is closer because Valley was able to make some in-game changes and settle into it defensively to slow Waukee down a little bit. And now at halftime, the adjustments that they're going to make offensively and hopefully continue to work with defensively, I'm going to be very interested to see just how tight the game is. It could become a track meet, but I do anticipate both defenses really sticking up here.
So again, an 8-point lead for Waukee here at the break. When we come back, we will have the second half for you here from Valley Stadium. You've been watching the Iowa Corn Halftime Show here on CISN.TV.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Well, the calendar has flipped to October, and you take a look at a beautiful harvest moon that we have tonight. But not only that, Keith Bornus, you can also see Mars not too far away there to the left of the harvest moon. And just a beautiful sight to see just in our clear skies here tonight in West Des Moines.
I tell you what, that view, all it makes me want to do is watch Curious George Halloween Boo Fest. Because it's coming, man. You can't stop it.
No, you cannot stop it at all. But, man, what a fantastic sight to see here on this Friday night. Again, a little bit chilly. The temperature's getting colder and colder.
So, the halftime show. Fantastic show, again, by Josh Waymeyer and the Valley March Masters. Kind of headlined by Valley Twirler and Homecoming Queen, Bailey Waukee. Great job. Want to give her some props on not only being a very talented twirler and show person, but last weekend after she was crowned Homecoming Queen, my daughter Anna emailed her and said, hey, congratulations on becoming Homecoming Queen. That is so awesome. And within 24 hours, I don't know what most people do on the weekends these days when you're in high school, but this was on maybe Saturday morning, and by Sunday, Bailey had returned an email saying thank you and how much it meant to her to be able to represent Valley High School the way that she does, and hoped that Anna would have a great school year and a great career in West Des Moines. I thought that was very, very amazing.
Really neat right there. Again, just says a lot about the student body at Valley High School. And just a really neat note right there as Waukee has a short kickoff here to begin the second half. And a very good return by the Tigers. Hold on to the football, and they take it to the 45-yard line. So, Keith, we saw Valley's offense shape up a really good drive to end the first half, which resulted in a 30-yard field goal for Lennox Krell. So now it's just really trying to build off of that and some of the other good moments they had in the opening half.
Yes. That finish was very good in the fact that they got their points and Waukee was not able to answer. Knowing that you're coming out of the halftime, getting the ball, Valley naturally would love to have a quick score here and get everybody energized, but they just need to put together a good drive.
Dion Hutch quickly going in the middle of the hole there. Gain of 3 or 4 yards for the junior running back. Again, we have not seen Jaden Williams here tonight, but Dion Hutch has done a great job in relief duty. Scored the first touchdown for the Tigers, the one and only touchdown for Valley up to this point at the 6:30 mark in the first quarter. Mason Morrow again making his second career start. Under center, shuffles it over to Dion Hutch, and that is going to be a penalty. 3 flags coming in on the tackle that was made there.
Now, unfortunately, you don't get 15 yards for each flag. They're only going to give the 15, not 45.
So that will push the Tigers into Waukee territory after what appeared to be a horse collar tackle by the Waukee defense. Again, penalties have been a little bit of an issue tonight for Waukee as Dion Hutch will exit the game and Danny Rankins will come back in.
I like how Hutch went over to his running back coach and just said, "No, coach, really, my head is still attached. I'm good. I'm good."
But just as a precaution, got to make sure you're A-OK. So on first down, it's Rankins. Finds a seam and takes it 6 yards. Valley's offensive line doing a good job of getting the push and giving Danny Rankins an opening.
Excellent job there by Rankins. He exploded up through that hole. And they say great things happen when you fly to the hole and trust that it's going to open up.
Drew Peterson in motion for the Tigers. Cutting off to the right side is Rankins and gets dragged down by Tristan Grubb, the junior.
Great job by Rankins getting that final push and a good lean as he stretched out an additional 2.5 yards, which is quite amazing in itself because he's not that tall.
And again, for both Hutch and for Rankins, not the biggest guys, but they have been able to muscle out some impressive runs as the Tigers are in the I formation. 1st and 10 at the 25. Gain of a couple for Rankins.
So a little bit of a shout-out time here as a good friend of mine and somebody who knows a little bit about offensive line push, as his son did some pushing for Valley as well. And Trent Shaner is also a Curious George fan in his own way. So how do, Trent? How do?
Love everyone who's been able to tune in here tonight, it has been a good one thus far as Mason Morrow keeps. Almost gets to the 25-yard line as we have under 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Valley has been efficient when inside the 20. And so Morrow getting the play call from the sideline. See what the Tigers do here on 3rd and 6.
Nice job controlling the offensive line and the clock as nearly 4 minutes have rolled off here in this opening drive.
Play action. Morrow throws and passes incomplete. Matthew Mahoney, he made a highlight reel catch to end the second quarter, but that time couldn't haul it in as the throw was behind him. And now the field goal unit will come out once again for the Tigers.
One of the things that Coach Swenson has done over his incredible career as a football coach is he's a guy that if you know you can get the points, you take the points when you can get them.
And Krell has been automatic here tonight. He is 2 for 2. This one from about 34 yards out, and it is good. Right up the middle for Lennox Krell. He is 3 for 3 tonight. And so that drops down the Waukee lead to 5 points, 21-16. Waukee in front here on CISN.TV.
Hi, I'm Chris with Fireplace Superstore. Fall's upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need a new Heat and Glow high-efficient gas direct vent. These are ideal for your new construction project, for your remodeling project, or for removing your old wood-burning fireplace and replacing it with a new Heat and Glow high-efficient gas direct vent. Come see us today at Fireplace Superstore, 10820 Douglas in Urbandale.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
8:20 to go in the third quarter. Valley on the opening drive of the second half gets a 34-yard field goal from Lennox Krell to make it a 21-16 lead for the Waukee Warriors, who will receive the kick as it bounces into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. And Keith, you know, we've been giving shout-outs tonight. Want to give a shout-out to the student body councils for both Waukee and Valley, as both teams have competed off the field. We know the rivals on the field, but off the field in Combat Hunger Rivalry Week, helping out the Food Bank of Iowa. And I've heard from the folks at the Des Moines Radio Group who host the Combat Hunger Rivalry Weeks and Combat Hunger, the event itself, that they were able to raise, and this was on Thursday, almost $7,000 for the Food Bank of Iowa. And that was on Thursday. And so, I'll tell you what, you know, especially here in 2020, the need from the Food Bank of Iowa is even more important than years prior, and so just a special shout out to both schools for taking part in that.
That is wonderful, and you know, I can kind of certainly appreciate that. We have in our neighborhood, we have several Valley families, and during Beggars Night, they don't come around looking for candy. They come around looking for cans of food, and so. Yes, the work that student body and the communities of both Valley and Waukee doing a great job. So thank you for that.
Yes, so again, spearheaded by the student body councils. They were on the radio on Star 102.5, sharing the story and how they were raising money, and virtually, of course, this year, but just doing a fantastic job. Meanwhile, Valley's defense doing a fantastic job against Waukee as Holcomb has to go off to the left. Pass is incomplete. There is a flag down in the backfield.
There's a good chance this penalty is going to be declined, as the pass did land incomplete. So Coach Swenson would have the choice of having it become 3rd and 15. Well, it would have been 3rd and 20 or taking the result of a play, which was an incomplete pass, making it 4th and 5. So punt team for Waukee, punt return for Valley.
And if you're Valley, you mentioned just the halftime, the plays that they need to make and the adjustments, especially, and that Coach Swenson thrives himself on making those adjustments and really couldn't draw up a better start for the Valley Tigers as they force Waukee to punt. Smith gets it away. And it's Dubrava that fields it inside the 40-yard line. It gets tackled at the 45-yard line, so Waukee that time keying in on Dubrava, but still the Tigers will have good field position to start their second drive here of the second half.
Dubrava a little bit slow getting up here as the staff comes out. Going to take a little bit of a timeout there.
So we do have an officials timeout. We will step aside as well here on CISN.TV.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
6:59 to go here in the third quarter. Fifth-ranked Waukee leading Valley 21-16. 16th all-time meeting between these two West Side rivals. Valley leading the series 12-3. They've won 7 straight against Waukee since 2014. And the Tigers have the football, but they lose yards on the play.
However, it is good to see Dion Hutch back into the game. Loss of 1, but not a loss of Hutch. Hey, I got to give another shout out. I got an email from Braden Hine, and he told me, don't come back to class if you're not going to say hi to me. So, making sure that I can get back to the classroom, Braden, the shout outs to you.
On second down, it's Morrow. Throws it in the middle of the field. Kind of a Patrick Mahomes-esque type of throw there with the sidearm delivery. Incomplete, it's 3rd and 10. Or check that 3rd and 11 for the Tigers.
You know, we were talking about people that had worn that number 12 jersey in the recent history, but I'm going to go way back to a number 12. See if you can come up with this name, Reno Hightower.
Does not ring a bell. Man, that is going back.
Yeah.
Here's number 12, Morrow. Throws it out left side. Nessheim with the catch. He will be just shy of the line to gain. But a good throw there by Morrow, finding Nessheim his first catch of the night. Drew Peterson will come into the game for Reed Schilb. And the Valley offense this time staying out on the field. Will try to convert here on 4th down. Morrow under center. Hands it off. And this is going to be close. And Valley will not get it. Waukee's defense with a great stand there as they were able to stop Dion Hutch, who was trying to reach out to get that first down, but nothing going. So a big Big play there made by Waukee's D.
Waukee had Hutch way in the backfield on the initial contact. Hutch very fortunate to get back as far as he did. But nonetheless, turnover on downs.
So now the Warriors offense is back out onto the field. Lindquist with the carry. Charges forward for 5 yards. So if you're just joining us, Waukee drummed up a very good start to this ball game, scoring 14 points in less than 2 minutes. Led 14-10 after the first quarter and led 21-13 at half. But ever since the first quarter, it's a little bit of hit and miss we've seen from this Waukee offense as Holcomb changes the play at the line. He's accounted for all 3 of Waukee's touchdowns tonight as Lindquist gallops ahead and gets the first down.
Waukee has gotten some very good pushes from that offensive line as Brennan Matthews has done a great job over on the right side of the line. Bo Schaller gave a good push here on the left side in this last play.
Yeah, Waukee is big up front, and they've been able to get very good pushes for the run game. Good gain on first down by Lindquist again, just charging up the middle. Gain of 4, maybe 5 for the senior, Alex Lindquist. One of the top running backs in all of Class 4A.
And when you are doing football math, 3.5 plus 3.5 plus 3.5 is a first down.
And they've been able to average that. Here's Aaron Smith on the sweep. First down and more. Look out. Here goes number 5. Off to the races, and he gets dragged down inside the 10-yard line at the 5. We haven't called Aaron Smith's name since early in the ball game, Keith, but you can't forget about number 5.
Yeah. And I don't think that they have. It's just that, Valley's really done a nice job shutting him down, but Coach Carlson kind of dials up a play there that gets him sprung for a huge, huge first down run.
Smith scored on a 77-yard touchdown reception on the second play of scrimmage for Waukee. On first down, the Warriors run it up the middle. And another solid gain, driving it further into Valley territory. Three minutes to go in this third quarter. Waukee trying to build on their lead. Holcomb hands it off to Lindquist. Darts around the left side. Valley says they got the football. And we have yet to get a signal.
Still talking about it.
Everyone holding their breath. This would be a huge turnover, and it is Valley football.
Oh.
First turnover on the night by Waukee. And man, Keith, they were really driving the football against the Tigers. And they will have it. Not an ideal field position, but still a big takeaway by the Valley defense.
Well, yes, not ideal field position is still better than no field position. And, Waukee they were taking a toll, and Valley's defense getting a little bit tired, giving up a big play to Aaron Smith. And to be able to get that takeaway right there, that's going to rejuvenate the defense a little bit. And now hopefully the offense can get a little momentum going here themselves.
So that turnover by Waukee continues to give life to the Valley Tigers, who are only down by 5 points and still plenty of football left. Handoff up the middle. Goes for a couple.
Looked to be, a gain of a yard and a half there?
Dion Hutch was the ball carrier as Cale Nessheim will re-enter the game for the Tigers. Caden Hutch.
And just in case you're wondering, yes, they are related. Twins, great young men, great family.
Trouble for the Tigers as Waukee makes the stop at the goal line. The ball may be out. We'll see here. There's a lot to unwrap. Waukee is signaling touchdown. And how about that for a turn of events? Waukee recovers a fumble in the end zone. Touchdown, Waukee.
A great push by the Waukee defensive line. You know, you talked about the lack of field position down there, and Waukee really motivated to try and get that safety, and it actually turned out very well for them as the fumble did happen. Recovered by Waukee, so their lead does extend.
Lucas Bartacek on for the extra point. He has been perfect tonight. Snap, hold, kick is on its way, and it is good. Waukee's defense getting in on the action as they recover a fumble in the end zone to go up 28-16 with just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter on CISN.TV.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. Without question, the COVID-19 pandemic created many disruptive changes in our lives. Some of us got sick, jobs and income were compromised, it was difficult to even spend time with family and friends. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's Westside Auto Pro's commitment to quality service, and that will never change. We're here to make sure you get maximum performance and reliability from your vehicle. So as we all move forward, keep Westside Auto Pros in mind. You've been through enough. We'll make sure your car is the least of your worries.
Waukee's defense comes up big with a fumble recovery in the end zone to score the latest touchdown for the Warriors, up 28-16. They kick it away to the Tigers. Mahoney fields it inside the 10 and brings it up across the 30-yard line. That was the third turnover on the night by this Valley offense, who will try to shake it off and try to gain something positive here towards the final set of minutes here in this third quarter.
So, you know, we always talk about it's not always what happens to you that is the important thing, but how do you respond to it? And Valley is going to have to start making some good responses to what has happened tonight. The two of the three turnovers that have happened have given up points that Waukee has capitalized on. So 14 points off of turnovers.
Nowhere to go for Dion Hutch there on the first down run. Morris Kone, junior defensive lineman, one of a pair of Warrior defenders there to make the stop on Dion Hutch. And I'm sure that's been an emphasis for the Waukee coaching staff, is trying to limit the amount of damage being done by number 8. Morrow throws it out left side. Plenty of space for Nessheim. Breaks the tackle and gets across for the first down.
Well-designed play there as Morrow and Nessheim make a great connection.
Carter Smith in on the stop, a gain of 11 for the Valley offense. Second catch of the night for Cale Nessheim, as we have 1 minute to go in quarter number 3 from Valley Stadium. Week 6 of the shortened regular season here in 2020 for Iowa High School football. Play action, plenty of time for Morrow. Does not find any options downfield, calling for his receiver to come back, and he does. That's Mahoney making the grab on the sideline. And that will be enough for another Valley Tiger first down.
Very Reno Hightower-esque as Mason Morrow does extend the play and getting a good communication somehow down to Mahoney to come back to the ball. Big first down.
Second reception for the senior Matthew Mahoney, who again will be playing his college football at Princeton University. Handoff to Hutch. Going right side, cuts back in the middle, ball is loose. But I believe Valley this time got on top of it. Ball security has been an issue for the Tigers here tonight.
Hutch doing a great job carrying the ball. He makes some good cuts. He's been very slippery, but unfortunately, the pigskin has been a little bit slippery tonight too.
Well, and again, highlighting the fact that coming into this game for Dion Hutch, he only had 3 carries. And he has more than quadrupled that output here tonight. That is the final play of the third quarter. We will head to the fourth quarter. Waukee leading Valley in this battle of West Side rivals 28-16 here on CISN.TV.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Getting ready for the fourth quarter here on CISN.TV. 28-16 Waukee, the fifth-ranked team in Class 4A leading the Valley Tigers. Hunter Phillips and Keith Bornas, again, we're glad to have you with us here on a cool October Friday night at Valley Stadium. Tigers offense on the field with a 2nd and 5 situation. Morrow downfield, caught by Mahoney. Big gain of 20 for the Tigers, and that was a strong throw made there by Mason Morrow, hooking up with his senior wide receiver.
2 great things happening right there. The offensive line getting very good protection, and Morrow having the confidence to stand there in the pocket, move just a little to his right as he delivers a Reich, something that the Cubs did not deliver tonight.
I'm a Minnesota Twins fan, so I feel your pain. Peterson in motion for Valley. Give off to the left side. Danny Rankins making man. Some guys miss. Getting past 3 defenders.
That was rather impressive. Instead of going -3, he went -4 and then +2. A lot of things happened on that run, Hunter. A lot of things.
Making something out of what could have been nothing or negative. Absolutely there for Danny Rankins. Approaching the 9 o'clock hour here on CISN.TV. Play action. Morrow has a man. Raridan trying to go with a one-handed catch, but couldn't haul it in. But Morrow was being pressured immediately there by Waukee, and it'll be 3rd down and 8.
Just a little bit too much disruption by the Waukee defense. A great design to a wide open Raridan. Just a little bit off.
Raridan does have a couple of catches here tonight, but it seemed like for Mason Morrow whenever he's gotten into a groove. Waukee has been able to disrupt many of Valley's plays. Here's Morrow faking the pitch off to the right. Runs in the middle, and it will not be enough for a first down. So under 11 minutes to go here in the ball game. A little bit of decision time here for Coach Swenson.
Well, it is, a 12-point differential here. 3 points takes you to 9. Still not enough. You got to have 2 scores to get it done.
Valley rushes into their formation. Morrow delivers it outside. This is going to be close, but they are going to give him the first down.
That is a great job by Reed Schilb, knowing where he had to get that first down. A clutch throw, great catch, but most importantly, getting to the chains.
So Reed Schilb with his first catch of the night, a gain of 6. But again, having the awareness of knowing where he needed to be at to get across the line to gain. So that extends the drive for the Tigers, with now under 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They hand it off. And a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards for Dion Hutch, who was swung down at the 5.
I don't know that there is anybody in the stands that realized just how quickly Dion Hutch can hit that hole. He is flying out of the backfield. He gets a little more size, gets a little more help up front. He's going to explode through and be a force.
Well, he has shown really good vision here tonight. Valley running the ball very well without Jaden Williams. They give it to Hutch, but this time dropped for a loss.
That was an incredible job by Ben Ryland setting the edge out on the far side of the field, forcing Hutch to step up inside, and Waukee, the rest of Waukee, I think the entire town of Waukee was right there to meet him.
Now Ryland has had a good game here tonight on that defensive end spot. 3rd and 8 for Valley. We're bunching the receivers far side as Morrow heaves it up for Raridan, and the ball gets knocked out. In coverage was Bill Muchter. So now 4th down again for the Tigers, who were able to convert earlier here on this series. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of a play they'll draw up here.
Play clock is running, 12 seconds. Now we're under 10, trying to get everybody set up.
Again, they rush to the line. They get the snap off. Morrow throws to the end zone. Did he get his foot in?
A catch.
Touchdown, Tigers.
Hold on.
Flag in the backfield thrown. That was Eli Raridan who made the catch, but this could be a big flag, and it will be a penalty on Valley. Actually, the officials pointed the other way, so the touchdown is going to stand. So a roughing the passer penalty on Waukee keeps the touchdown. We've seen some really good grabs by Valley's receivers tonight.
We have, and you know, people are trying now to figure out, is this going to be kind of a replay of a very recent game in Waukee where Valley was down big going into the fourth quarter, came back, and the crazy onside kick late in the game to help Valley get the score, or after a score, and then move down the field for a win. We got a 5-point ball game.
So don't go anywhere here on CISN.TV.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience, one customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
Well, things just got a little more interesting here at Valley Stadium as it's just a 5-point lead for Waukee, who will have the football at the 20-yard line. Hunter Phillips and Keith Bornis back here with you. And what a highlight reel grab in the end zone for Eli Raridan. If you're going to have your first touchdown of the season, it might as well be that thing. It was a beautiful grab there, right at the boundary line there in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yes, it was a well-designed play, even though everything was hurried about it, trying to get the play in. Coach Swenson knowing that he had to get something done because it's a two-possession game, and they got it done. And they just corralled up Aaron Smith. It was only a 10-yard game.
Yeah, normally.
Funny to say that, but
well, he has busted off some big runs here tonight, but to follow up that, how about Mason Morrow? Not one, but two big throws on fourth down.
Oh, yes. Reed Schilb knowing where the chains were. Eli Raridan knowing where the back of the end zone was.
So Valley's tight ends coming up big on that last drive. Holcomb delivers it to Smith on the screen. Gets enough for the first down, but not much more after that. So that will move the sticks for the Waukee Warriors.
One of the things that Valley is really doing a nice job in, and some of the adjustments they're doing, is the defensive line is not traveling too far upfield, trying to spread the play long and wide to the sideline, trying to keep people in a box, because if you can box people in, it doesn't matter how fast you are.
Lindquist receives the carry on first down. Had a lot of running room. Gain of 13 on the carry. So Lindquist, who's been the bell cow for Waukee all season, he did have a fumble here earlier in the second half rather, but he has put together another really good night for Waukee.
Great job breaking out of that box that we were just trying to keep people into. Waukee trying to milk the clock and put together a long drive.
Holcomb hands it off to Lindquist. Chugs ahead for 3, maybe 4 yards. And it's the time game now for head coach Scott Carlson and Waukee, who are trying to snap a 7-game losing streak against the Valley Tigers. Waukee has not won against Valley since 2014. Lindquist again. Sheds off one tackle, but then gets brought down. Trey Krause, one of 2 Tigers in there to make the stop. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 upcoming for Waukee with 6 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. It's starting to get loud here at Valley Stadium. The socially distanced crowd bringing the noise here tonight. Play action. Great throw and caught to get the first down. That was the tight end Eddie Sadat Jr.
Sadat Jr., a 3-year starter for Waukee, has done a fantastic job blocking from the backfield, blocking from the line, and coming up with a key reception there as the ball moves, the chains move, the clock moves.
Gain of 12 on the reception to Eddie Sadad Jr., who caught a 6-yard touchdown pass back in the first quarter. Lindquist rushes off to the left side and goes out of bounds. And that'll stop the clock at 5:04 here in this fourth quarter.
Nice job by the Valley defense stretching the play out, but not a great job there by Lindquist as he did go out of bounds to stop that clock. We're talking about 40 seconds that could have been running off, but now only the play clock moves.
4 receivers set as Sadad Jr. is the man in motion. Lindquist again takes it to the ground, and he will bully his way up to just a couple of yards shy of the yard to gain as the clock continues to roll here at Valley Stadium. Waukee, the 5th-ranked team in Class 4A, 3-2 coming into tonight's game, trying to come away with another big victory on the season. The last time they played here at Valley Stadium, they faced Dowling Catholic, a game that they actually led at halftime, but that game slipped away from the Warriors. But they're hoping that their second trip here to Valley Stadium doesn't have the same ending. And another key carry by Lindquist on 3rd down will be enough for the first down. And for Valley, they need to be able to come up with some kind of a stop here to not only get the football back, but to literally stop the clock.
Yeah, so after this first down play, Coach Swenson is probably going to have to start looking at using timeouts. But the defense is going to have to step up too, because you can't give up a ton of yards on those first downs. You got to get a good stop. Give your coach a good time to call timeouts.
On first down, it's Lindquist. Races ahead for 3 yards. Trey Krause making the tackle for the Tigers. Now under 3.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Just one more week remains in the regular season. Both of these teams will be at home to close out the regular season. Valley will face Ankeny Centennial next week here at Valley Stadium. Meanwhile, Waukee, they'll face number 2 Urbandale at home next Friday. Holcomb throws it to the end zone. Pass is incomplete. Waukee sideline wanted a pass interference call.
I don't know that they were going to. There was some contact there, but they weren't going to get that call as the ball sailed clear out of bounds.
So that does stop the clock. 3 minutes even to go in this fourth quarter. And now it's another 3rd down situation upcoming for Waukee. They have been perfect on 3rd down conversions here on this drive, making key plays when needed. But can the Tigers drum up a stop here? And a timeout is going to be called by Waukee. So as the Warriors talk over what they'll do here on 3rd and 7, we'll step aside for a quick break here on CISN.TV.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it. to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Big play coming up here on CISN.TV for both teams. 3rd and 7 for Waukee, who holds a 28-23 lead against their fellow West Side rival, Valley. The Tigers hoping to make a stop here and get the football back with what would be under 3 minutes to go in the game. Smith in motion. Holcomb back to pass. Throws up the middle. Tipped and incomplete. Well played by the Valley's secondary. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
More than likely, Waukee going to come out, try a field goal attempt to push the lead to 8, as it is a 5-point lead right now, which, if they make it, still a 1-possession game.
So this will be about a 38-yard field goal for Lucas Bartachek, who is 3 for 5 on the season, and he nails it. Big kick by the senior Lucas Bartachek. And now it's 31-23, Waukee ahead of Valley with 2:52 remaining here in the 4th quarter.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Squib kick by Waukee. DeBrava off the bounce. Has an opening down the far side of the field. And another really good return by Mason DeBrava brings it across the 40-yard line. And so now, Keith, with 2:46 remaining here in this contest, Valley does have all 3 timeouts left, but they do have some work to do down 31-23.
They do. You don't have to change your play calling any because you do have the 3 timeouts. You'd like to be able to preserve what you can, of course, but there's plenty of time. So nobody has to worry. You just need to stay within yourself, move the ball, get a pass, big play if you can get it. But the playbook is still wide open.
So 1st and 10 for the Valley Tigers. Mason Morrow sends it deep downfield. He's got a man. And it falls incomplete. Matthew Mahoney was the intended receiver downfield. He did have some separation on his defender.
But Tristan Grubb did a nice job closing the gap as the ball did have plenty of height. And when it's sailing through the air, DBs can usually make up a lot of ground.
So Valley deciding to go with the home run ball there on 1st down. On 2nd down, Morrow evades 3 Waukee defenders, tucks it back in the middle of the field, gets tripped up, and there was a flag thrown as Morrow was brought to the ground. And we'll see who the penalty is on here.
Kind of in the area of holding. And if it is, blindside block. So now there's a big 3rd down and 14?
3rd and 14, and you saw Aaron Smith starting to put his hands in the air and try to pump up the Waukee sideline. They know how big of a potential victory this would be for that program. But we'll see what the Tigers can do here to try to extend this drive. Morrow, clean pocket, pass is tipped up in the air, and it's incomplete. Waukee's defensive line, they have had some active hands here tonight. They've batted a few passes that were thrown by Morrow, and a big play made there when needed by the D-line of Waukee.
Absolutely. And, you know, the way to get Waukee's hands down, you got to get into your man offensively. And so with the defense playing as well as they have offensively, get into that midsection, keep driving, the hands will come down.
So Valley sends the punt team out. Dawson Stein, sophomore punter, is about to send this one away. They just get the snap off. Short punt. And it is fielded by the Tigers. They'll down it at the 45-yard line. And so now Waukee is 2 minutes away from walking away from Valley Stadium with their first win against the Tigers since 2014.
Not the best punt there by Dawson Stein this year. Valley hoping to flip the field a little bit better than they did. With 3 timeouts left, it is possible to get a stop and get the ball back. But the defense has to get a big stop right away.
So on first down, Lindquist with a lot of running room and gets the first down, a gain of 12, maybe 13 yards. Enough to move the chains. Alex Lindquist has had one heck of a night out of the backfield for the Waukee Warriors as the clock rolls.
People may be wondering why a timeout wasn't called right there. On first down, you got to get a stop here before you start burning those timeouts. So if Valley can get a stop here, I anticipate a timeout being called.
Lindquist again. Room on the right side. Gets brought down, gain of 5. And now we'll see the first timeout called by Coach Swenson. That stops play with 1:19 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
This has been a very, very strong, hard-fought game.
What we expected.
Yes. And, Valley has really stepped up offensively. Mason Morrow is certainly showing that he is a strong leader. Had a few ill-advised passes tonight, and, the turnovers were not in Valley's favor. But it has been a very, very solid game. The first 14 points could very well be the difference.
And those first 14 points scored by Waukee were in a flurry. On their second play of scrimmage, Aaron Smith took it to the house, a 77-yard touchdown reception. And then Eddie Sadat Jr. with a 6-yard touchdown reception, that coming off an interception thrown by Mason Morrow, one of 2 interceptions thrown tonight by the junior quarterback. Valley with 3 turnovers tonight. And again, 14 points. 2 out of the 3 turnovers have resulted in Waukee touchdowns. Turnovers, winning that battle, it's the name of the game. As Lindquist scoots ahead, gains a couple. It will be 3rd down and short for Waukee. And the second timeout of 3 called by Valley. So 4 seconds come off the game clock. So Keith, as we mentioned, we will be back here next Friday. It'll be the regular season finale for the Valley Tigers. They will take on Ankeny Centennial. That has the makings to be a really fun battle as well. Well-coached team with the Pizzetti family coaching them, a young quarterback in J.J. Cole. They did lose a lot of talent from last year, but again, the sense of urgency leading into the postseason. All teams will make it into the postseason this year. That's really going to be a fun game next week.
I think it is. Valley and Centennial both have been victims to one of the toughest schedules ever put together in high school football. Facing top 5 programs week in and week out.
Well, and as we noted, this is the 4th straight week that Valley has faced a team inside the top 5. And Coach Swenson mentioned that in the pregame show, that you just have to be ready to play week after week. There are no off weeks. 3rd and 4. Lindquist carries it. And he should have enough for the first down, it looks like, on first glance. But it is very close.
Coach Swenson may, depending on how things go, I think they're going to go ahead and measure this to make sure. They're going to have a quick conversation.
Boy, and that is right on the line. So this can go either way here. It'll either be 4th down and inches or first down, as Brad Bunting, our head referee, calls for a measurement here.
And this certainly is the right call. Bring the chains out. Just make sure. He had a linesman out there with the spot. He never moved. So now we'll see what it looks like.
So the chains are out. And it is a first down for the Waukee Warriors. And that will do it for Waukee. And you can see the celebration already out on the field for the Warriors. They've been waiting for this moment for quite some time. Coach Swenson now talking with Brad Bunting, our official. Valley will call their final timeout.
And this is a good call here to call your timeout, talk to your defense, let them know this has been a very hard-fought game. Emotions are high. You have played exceptionally well on both sides of the ball. Waukee has played very well, exceptionally well on both sides of the ball. And so now it's, all right, after they run a play, we can't stop it anymore. So let's just make sure we keep our composure and finish this out with good character and have something to build on for the final game of the year.
So again, the final timeout for the Tigers to use. For Valley, it's, as you mentioned, Keith, just trying to end this on a high note and knowing that they still have one more week remaining in the regular season to continue to get better as Waukee is in victory formation. Jacob Holcomb, senior quarterback, kneels it down. So we have less than 1 minute to go here at Valley Stadium, and you can imagine for the senior class of Waukee, including Holcomb, this is a moment that they've been working really hard for to try to come up with a win against the Tigers.
And, you know, this senior class for Waukee has really had a very good career all the way through, you know, ninth grade and on, having some very good success at all levels as they came up. And so that right there is the final snap of the game.
Well, you can hear cheers all the way from Waukee here at Valley Stadium. The streak is over. Waukee snaps a 7-game skid against the Valley Tigers. Their first win against Valley since 2014. And as the clock hits 0, 31-23 is the final score. Fifth-ranked Waukee defeats the Valley Tigers. Waukee will move to 4-2 on the season. Meanwhile, the Valley Tigers, they drop to 1-4. We're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll recap all the action quickly on the post-game show next here on CISN.TV.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
Welcome back here to Valley Stadium. Our final score once again 31-23. The fifth-ranked Waukee Warriors defeat the Valley Tigers 31-23. Again, Hunter Phillips and Keith Bornes back here with you. And Keith, a tough result for the Valley Tigers tonight, but give credit where credit is due here in this rivalry series. Waukee's been waiting a long time to be able to notch a win against the Tigers, and they did so tonight by playing very good defense and were able to do some pretty impressive things on offense.
You know, they did. They came in ready to go. Aaron Smith taking that first play or second play from scrimmage all the way down the sideline. Waukee getting the turnover and scoring two very quick touchdowns before Valley really even had a chance to react and respond. And those two scores being the difference here. The rest of the way through, both teams had their big plays, had their mishaps. It was your typical great high school game between two very good football teams. And the one thing that I'm really excited to see is, you know, we knew what Waukee was coming in. We were not 100% sure what Valley was coming in, thinking last week, man, they made some improvements. It was a game that was a lot closer than the score had dictated, and tonight it was a game that was a lot closer than the score says, and it was only 8 points.
Yeah, and at 1 point, it was just a 5-point lead for Waukee. They did lead the entire way here tonight, but you mentioned that fast start for the Warriors, 14-0 in less than 2 minutes in. But then how about Valley's defense responding the way they did, and then a very nice punt return by Mason Dubrava, returning it 65 yards, and then punching it in. Dion Hutch, who really came in and ran the ball really well, considering the fact that he had 3 carries coming into tonight's game. No Jaden Williams. Not sure why we didn't see Jaden Williams play, but, you know, it was next man up, and between him and Rankins, they did a really good job tonight.
They did a great job tonight. Both guys hitting the holes hard, running full speed, and then, you know, it's a great talent to be able to run full speed, stop on a dime, and man, there were times I felt like Hutch gave me 9 cents change tonight. So fantastic job just being an all-around great running back.
Well, and I wanted to get your thoughts on Mason Morrow making his second start of the season. He did have 2 interceptions tonight. Turnovers were really big for the Tigers, but he did throw a 9-yard touchdown pass to Eli Raridan, and what a fantastic grab that was for the junior, his first touchdown of the season. But in his second start, what did you see from Mason Morrow here tonight?
I saw Mason Morrow step a little bit further out of his comfort zone. You know, he's a pretty conservative kid. He knows what his limitations are, and he moves beyond them. And so, you know, having last week's game under his belt coming in, I thought he forced a couple of things trying to risk it, and give him credit. I mean, he's going to try and move this ball, move this team. And so from that standpoint, no, it wasn't fun to see interceptions, but at the same time, I certainly understand why he did it. And I have to believe that Coach Swenson said, hey, if you think you got it, take it, because we need something to happen. And so forcing those positives, he had a couple mistakes, but I saw a lot more positive than I saw negative out of Mason Morrow.
Well, again, the 5th-ranked Waukee Warriors, they snap a 7-game losing skid to their crosstown rival, the Valley Tigers. Their first win against Valley since 2014. The Warriors jump to 4-2 on the season, while Valley falls to 1-4. Well, Keith, one more week of regular season Iowa High School football. It'll be great to be back with you. Next week, we're going to have a fun one here on CISN.TV when Ankeny Centennial makes a visit here, but always great to work with you.
The pleasure is all mine, and we look forward to a great game next week.
So for our hard-working crew, they were out there in the cold here tonight. Appreciate their hard work. For our producer, Anna Bassett, and for my broadcast partner, Keith Warnes, I'm Hunter Phillips, signing off from Valley Stadium on this Friday night here on CISN.TV.